What up, y'all?
Welcome back, Weenie.
Back again, man. It's just a lot going on, bro. Like I still got some stuff to cover, but it's like hella debates going on tonight that I was definitely trying to see. No, Tom is on a Tomfoolery is doing a debate right now about the Ukrainian woman stabbing and Charlie Kirk, and then Destiny's talking about political violence. And I'm like, damn, I want to cover all that shit. But right now, the panel with Charlie Kirk and Tom and them is a little lit.
Ever an issue or instance where the race is a factor?
So we're gonna watch it in real time.
If he's racially motivated,
I don't know who's hosting this though. I think it's Fatty.
Asian person during COVID, because I think China created COVID. That's racially motivated.
Yeah, there were shootings in the early 2000s over there were numerous shootings in the early 2000s over the Great Replacement.
Oh no, this
is against the government. We need to have guns. Period. Like if you take away our guns, then I mean the government can just take over. It doesn't even make sense.
Why didn't the good guy with the gun stop the bad guy with the gun?
Honestly, that is a good question. I would like to know why his security. I don't know enough information about that. I feel like there was maybe a security breach, and I'm tired of seeing it happen with conservatives, especially conservatives like himself that do a lot for a lot of different communities.
Well, they didn't. They were in an amphitheater. They didn't know where the shot came from. In an amphitheater, it echoed from all over the place. They couldn't have known that it came from up top on the roof. They didn't know where it was.
Oh yeah, but you're supposed to secure those areas before.
Sure.
Even though he's not a politician, he does speak, especially talking about Transformers. You're gonna get. I've personally had like people threaten my life on that particular topic, threatening to burn my house down with my family in it, including my son. Yikes. So those people are crazy. And so when you're putting yourself out there, there's a certain level of precautions that you need to take. And it's unfortunate that those were not done.
Can I offer something to you, Fatty?
Yes, Miss, and then Ghosty, please. Go ahead.
Okay, statistically,
okay, so yeah, it is Fatty's
in
panel.
2022,
that's why you've been talking
total
so much.
48,204 in the U.S. While medical malpractice deaths are often cited as the leading cause of death in studies, with one 2016 Johns Hopkins study estimating over 250,000 deaths annually due to medical errors. Should we stop all hospitalization, all medical practices? Should we stop doing surgery? Should we stop giving vaccines? Should we stop sending people to the hospital because people die from medical malpractice?
Absolutely. I think you should pray so your God can help you heal. and you don't need to go to the hospital. She said, "Amen, please."
Missed the whole fucking point again, Fatty.
He said, "Yeah, I think you should pray."
He's knocking out these straw men.
Yeah, this is a
this motherfucker,
right? It's
why
like
is that
saying
disingenuous.
Let me explain why it's disingenuous. People die most driving cars. Driving car is compared with other things that we do.
And nobody's trying to get rid of guns.
Not high probability, but higher probability that I'm going to home and I get hit by a car because somebody is drunk, right? I'm not saying that people shouldn't drive cars. I'm saying we should pass legislation, push information, education to make sure that people drive as safely as possible.
Wait, but you're proving his point, though. That is the point. So the majority of Americans do believe that we ought to have the Second Amendment. We ought to be allowed to have guns. And we all know that as long as we do have guns, there will be a certain amount of gun deaths. The gun deaths are the leading cause of children today. But no, it is. Because hold on. The point is that we take with every right every single right that we have, there's going to be downsides to it. The fact that we want freedom of speech means that there's going to be people who say horrible things and lead people in horrible directions. But we all accept that with the rights that we get with the First Amendment. With the Second Amendment, we know that there's going to be deaths with the Second Amendment, yet we all accept that with the right to have guns. That doesn't mean that we can't have legislation around it to try to minimize this. Just as with cars, we know there's going to be a lot of deaths with cars, but we still allow legislation to put speed limits on things, to say that you have to have a seatbelt, to like try to make it as safe as possible. We do the same with guns.
So your point is easily debunkable,
I think there's a little
right?
more room
So
for
this is what
safety
we do.
around guns.
If
I think there's a little bit more
healthcare
room to get a little
system
bit
is
more
bad,
safety.
we look at the country
Like
with the best
you don't even need a
healthcare system
background
and try
check
to mimic
federally.
them, right?
So I think like
Right?
federal
This
background
happens with
checks
everybody.
could help.
I'm playing basketball, and the Spurs are 3-time champions. We go to the Spurs and look at their system, and we take the best system of the best team, and we try to do it. This
What's
is
good,
why the league
Bandito?
went from a three-point shooting team to a pick and roll team, a pick and roll game, to a pass to the post, so check and dribble and dunk. This is what we do. If I'm saying that people should look at the best hospitals on the best country in the planet and try to mimic their system, I'm saying to Americans, look at all the countries that have no gun violence. Are you telling me that those people don't have mentally ill people?
That's true.
Of course they have. Mental illness is not an American thing. It happens to everybody in every part of the world.
That's
The
true.
difference,
America
once again, is on
uniquely
these
has a gun
actually
problem.
evolved
That's a
countries that
fact.
don't have these problems. And for example, Canada doesn't have these problems. And I'm not saying that Canadian people are different than Americans.
We
For
freaking
whatever
agree.
reason, they don't deal with this shit every.
I don't know.
fucking
I don't know
week.
what that.
That's
You just
fucking
said that my
bandwagon,
point was
fatty.
How is it
debunkable.
the bandwagon?
You just said my point was
Just 'cause
debunkable.
also,
You
like,
didn't.
Yeah,
I
because you
mean-
mimic. No, because you mimic the country with the best results, and the country with best results and less gun deaths has literally virtual no guns in circulation. That's
they
what
also
you should
have the
aim
most
for.
knife
It's
deaths.
just
No. 1 second, please. I just want to say this. Is an American thing that you have metal detectors in schools. It's unimaginable that I'm playing basketball or my son is going to school and I'm going to read on the news
Are
such and
those
such
guns
going to. So
registered
it's an
and
American thing.
legal? Are they registered and legal? Or
What
are
do you
they
mean?
are they black market weapons that have been stolen or
Well,
that
don't
you're
have
not
to
it's a
allowed
mixture
in?
of
Black
both. But the
market
problem is that Fatty, your
The black
entire.
market
I mean,
exists
Hold on.
Bandito,
everywhere
it's
But-
not.
in the
It's
planet.
not
Fatty,
No one's
mental
your
illness
your
equals
entire no, hold on,
violence.
because you
I-
just
that
responded to
wouldn't
what I
be the
said. I wanted to
process
respond
at
to what
all.
you
It
said
would
to
just-
me,
it would have
which
to
is
be
that
No,
we're
I just
going
consider
to
everything-
mimic.
all
it's
things
fine.
considered.
Tom, I got you. I just want to say one thing, Sarah.
You didn't get shit.
No,
Fatty.
Everyone
You're
needs to go back to their country of
off target.
origin.
I just want to say this real quick, and Tom got it. There's black markets everywhere in the planet, everywhere, and people are not shooting each other every time they get a disagreement or road rage or they go to school. Black market is not an American thing. Actually, I would say it's easier for countries that are closer to Asia, right, or South America, to get these black market and things that actually go through the border in boats and all that shit. Then it's easier to get them on a country like the United States. So respectfully,
Fatty,
black
you're
markets
still
and
missing the
mental health
point.
is not an American thing, it's a global thing. The only thing the United States have more than everybody else is guns. Y'all have more guns
Fatty.
than everybody on the planet combined.
The problem is that you said that what
You're
I
so
said.
off
You
the
know
mark.
that.
You're
There's
still
a lot
off
Tom,
the
more
mark.
like you said, I
mental
was
health
debunked, but he
issues
wasn't
in the United
debunked.
States.
Oh, they mad, but I'm not right. I'm not wrong.
Can I jump in
What
at some
Charlie
point? too?
Kirk said was there might be deaths from people owning guns. It happens. It's part of the cycle, right? And we're
Now we
giving you the
crying.
statistics that okay, we still have medical malpractice, even though people
Mhm.
still go to hospitals. You could still get hit walking across the street, but we still choose to walk across the street. You could die in a car crash, although dying in a car crash is statistically similar to dying by gun violence, right? But medical malpractice is 250,000 people per year dying by
That don't
gun
sound
violence
right.
is
It's
only
no
what,
way your likeliness
48,000 or
of
something
dying in
per
a
year.
car is the same
Like
as getting
you're
shot.
missing the mark, Fatty. You're trying to go off on this tangent of like, well, all of these other countries did it, but all of these other countries also don't.
Yeah, I think
have
there
the
needs to
same,
be more. It needs to be
rights
more
system as
training.
we do
It
here.
needs
So
to
it's not.
be,
It's not.
you know,
Hold on. It's not the rights.
the waiting
Australia, during
periods.
COVID,
I think it
even
needs
Australia
background
during
checks.
COVID
And
was, like
yeah, I know you
even
can't
they
always
were
control
up
like
in-
secondhand
up in
selling,
arms
but
against their government
we
because
do
they
it with
couldn't even go
cars.
outside.
I
They had
mean, I
all
don't
these
know.
issues, yada,
Like,
yada, yada,
I
but
don't
they
know.
couldn't-
It's
they
hard,
couldn't
I guess, because if
defend
you just keep a
themselves,
gun in
they
your house,
couldn't
but
become
you always
tyrants
got to
or
register a
anything
car
like
and
that
shit
because
like
they
that
didn't
when
have the
you
weapons to
sell it.
do so.
You know.
Okay, so
No,
hold on,
so
hold on, wait. You said that I could respond after you said the
Dwayne,
last
stop
thing. and I
playing
still
with me,
like it.
man.
The
Yes,
difference
Tom,
is
you
that
are right, Tom. You got it.
I know.
1 second, just 1 second. Tom, and then Miss Ghosty and
And
Glenn Lawrence, please.
Okay.
What?
So the
Stop playing
difference
with
is
me,
that
Dwayne.
Ghosty and
the
Glenn,
I
what
was
the
supposed to go a while ago.
yeah, she was supposed to go
Are
well.
you
So
crying,
the difference is that you're just looking at, like, you're saying that you said I was debunked because we're just gonna look at what it is that other countries do and try to replicate their outcomes. The problem is that, like, Saudi Arabia has much lower crime rates than we do. Yet they're a very they're a totalitarian dictatorship that treats their citizens very, very poorly. We're not going to try to replicate that just because they're willing to do it and they have better outcomes. We have a certain set of values, and some of those values are things like free speech. And again, that free speech can come with a lot more hate crimes and people getting misinformation. Yet we still value that free speech anyways because it's something that is
They was trying to compare. I
part
think
of
people
our
doing that
entire
to
culture,
troll.
just the same as
I think
having
people
guns
doing that
and
to
being
troll.
able to
I don't
defend
think that
ourselves.
people
Even if the majority of the time
legitimately
we're
are trying
not
to
defending
compare them.
ourselves,
I
we
hope not.
still have that as part of our fundamental culture. And that is not something that we can just say, let's just replicate other countries.
Yeah, the
because of
gun
it.
show shit. Yeah, like that.
Tom,
That
that's
should
such
there
a
should be no
bullshit.
tolerance
I'm
for
not
that
talking
at all.
about
Like it
Saudi
should. It's
Arabia.
too. It's like
I'm
it's
talking about
easily
Canada.
preventable.
I'm talking
You know what
about
I'm saying?
Scotland.
It's
I'm talking about
and yes,
Germany.
people do
I'm
transfer
talking
their
about
shit, but
Sweden.
it's
If
not.
you actually look
It's not
at
like it's
the politics,
always the case. Like
the values and the morals.
giving
most
somebody a
of them
car that's not
are very
registered,
similar
that
to the
you're
United
gonna
States.
that shit is
Y'all
not
are
gonna
just
last
going
long.
crazy.
What's good,
Even
Josh?
today, motherfucker.
You're not getting too. You're not going with
I
a
see
driving
you
a
in
car that's not registered
Valhalla.
to you for a long time.
I
Not at
see you
all.
in Valhalla, friend. That motherfucker is mentioning something from the north of Europe.
Like I said,
The fact
people
that
don't
he goes, an Indian
drive
man
guns,
goes
so
out
it's
of
hard
his
to
way
catch
to
it.
mention something that is from the pagans of north of Europe, like our cultures are very similar. So I'm not saying be like Saudi Arabia. I'm saying go to Canada, see what's the difference between you and Canada, and make
Yeah, Tom did pick Saudi Arabia, but he
decisions
could pick
that will
Canada.
get you your kid going to school safe and you know he gets home. And the only difference is guns. A lot of them. Go ahead, Ghosty,
Okay,
and
so-
go ahead, Glenn. Tomfoolery debunked.
Fatty, I might
did not
agree with
debunk
you.
him.
If we had a magical button that could like snap back history where guns just like never was a part of this country, guns like never existed, but they do. And the fact is we're not getting rid of guns. And I
Why?
do think it's the silly because there's too many of them. It's just part of our culture. It's
Did
just
the
not
British
having
have
Because
guns?
that
Hold on,
would
listen,
start a
listen.
civil
Did
war.
the British have guns?
I do think it's a silly idea to think that the American people are having guns because we're gonna fight back against the American military, the strongest military in the
Yes,
world.
yeah.
Like that's just
Yeah, I hate
fucking
when people say
retarded.
that.
Yeah,
That's
they'd
just
be
But
stupid.
doing it right now if
people
that was the
do-
case.
That's
people
stupid.
do
I hate when people say
like
that.
their gun rights, okay? The problem is that most of the left doesn't want to get rid of guns, but we want to have a conversation about how to have more gun safety, how to have more just I don't know if it's background. We don't know what it is. We want to have some kind of conversation, but the right won't even have that conversation. They don't want to talk about anything. They want to keep everything the exact way it is. So we can't have
I
this
just think some conversation needs to happen.
So, like what Sarah was saying about the medical deaths and stuff, no, of course we don't get rid of medical procedures. We make it a better system. We improve. But we can't have this with guns because the right doesn't even want to talk about it. They want to keep everything
We
the
want
way
to talk
it is.
about more guns.
So then shut the fuck up about Charlie Kirk dying. Like, I don't know what to say.
Don't go for solutions. Thoughts and prayers.
Also, by the way, why can't we just have drones? Why can't we just have drones in
She
the sky?
said,
at these events? Like,
well,
I feel
shut the
like
fuck
that's
up
so
about
weird.
it.
All the victims, thoughts and
Damn.
prayers. They're the best in the
That was cold, but shit.
Know what gender they are.
Cause this
What
this powder dusty
What
dude.
What the
That's such a
fuck?
fucking
He's been
stupid,
every
so
fucking time.
disingenuous, but
Like,
such
I
a,
think
that doesn't even
You
make
guys
sense.
are obsessed with
So
trans
here's the
people.
point.
What is
Hey,
wrong
what
with
up,
you
what up,
guns?
trans people?
Was that the
You guys are
sexist
obsessed
remark?
with trans
Fatty made a
people,
really
dude.
Sexy remark. Yeah, there you go.
Was that the sexist remark?
Fatty made a
That was-
really
I
stupid
know.
point.
I wanted to point out,
Where
like,
was the big guy with the
you
gun?
guys know that only like 7% of prisoners in state prison actually were in prison for when they got busted with a gun. That was actually a gun registered to them, and 8% of federal prisoners who got busted with a gun, the gun was actually registered to them. Only 1 to 2% of all gun crimes are committed by the person whose the gun is registered to. So most of these criminals.
What does
are
that have to?
criminals
That
using
means they
guns that are
probably
not
used
theirs,
it
but they
illegally.
shouldn't be in possession with to begin with.
No, no,
So
no, no,
it's
no,
Which
all
doesn't-
about
if they-
citizens
if they're-
that are committing these crimes.
Let me
No,
answer.
If they're in jail for having a gun that was registered to them, that means they, used it illegally, which is really the bigger issue.
Then you got it, Marte. Let me answer. Then you got it, Marte. Sir, yesterday there was a 13-year-old kid that was caught with like 20
No
guns.
kink shaming.
Literally yesterday, a 13-year-old kid that were caught with 20 guns. I myself, Fatty, as a 35-year-old, don't know what I can do of them.
Getting ready to shoot up a
This is
school.
about the market.
Damn.
Patty, hold on.
One second.
I ain't known
please.
about that.
If you know that you can smoke crack by going to the corner, it's more probable that you're going to smoke crack because every corner has a crackhead or a person selling crack. But if that is not readily available to you just by going to an auction, asking it on your cousin,
Yeah, that gun
behind the bed of
auction
your
shit is a
dad,
big problem.
It's regular that you're going to actually get a bunch of them. What the fuck is going on? That's crazy.
Patty, you made a really dumb point earlier, and I'll tell you where.
You are dumb.
Where's the good
Exactly,
guy with the gun?
Bandito.
Isn't
Like
the
he brought that
university a
up as
gun-free
if it's
zone?
like
that makes our point, not yours.
having
So
it
to me, that's
registered, but
totally
if you're
this
in
one.
trouble
Do
for
you
something you
seriously
did with
do you
your
Not
gun,
this
seriously
it was
think the
registered,
person with
that
the gun
means you
would have
didn't
been
know
able
how
to
to use
stop
it.
that shooter on the roof?
Still our point. That still
Where
goes
was
to
the good guy with the gun, Martin?
When has that ever happened? Can you name one situation where that's like
Where
ever
was the good
happened?
guy with the gun?
Yeah, I can
That
name also
happened quite
anecdotally.
frequently.
Less than 1%, according to the
That
FBI,
happens
less
quite
than
frequently
1%.
where someone with a gun.
Less
Of
than
gun
hold on, wait, according to the
discharges for
FBI, less than
self-defense.
1% of gun deaths have a good guy with a gun, or less than less than
Yeah.
1% of gun crimes have somebody fight back with a gun. So
Yeah.
like it's almost never.
Yeah, it's just
Maybe
Tom,
we
how do
need
you
to
measure
arm
something
more
that doesn't
people.
happen?
Maybe
goes
we
back
need
to
to
my
arm
point.
more people. If more people were able to conceal
How do
carry,
you
maybe
measure
that
something
percentage
that
would be
Girl,
higher.
no. People think life is like a movie,
I
bro.
don't know
Just
what
if
do
y'all
you
got a
mean?
gun, somebody, I'm gonna be able
I
to
just said
defend
it's less than
myself. It's like
1%.
that's just
If
not
a
how it
crime
works.
doesn't happen, there's nothing to measure.
No,
He's
they
saying
include
if there were,
those.
if more people
Fucking
were
idiot.
concealed carry, and we were under the understanding that more people can conceal carry at any given moment in any given place, how many of these crimes probably wouldn't happen, knowing that somebody could be armed? Whoever you're messing with could be the good guy with the pew pew.
Anecdotally, I can say I've stopped 3 situations from escalating because I had a gun. I didn't
You
have
know
to do
what?
anything.
I think
I can't
because
prove it.
I
I'm saying
think because
anecdotally.
I have a bald head
All you can
and
do is-
people
all
are
you can do
scared.
is, since the
that-
situation did not happen,
Yes.
there's not statistics.
True, actually, and I think because I have a bald head and there's more trans people around, more people are too scared to commit crimes, and that's why a lot of crimes just don't happen. Is because they're
Ban dog shit.
we need more trans people and more bald heads.
No, that's
Are you
technically
trans?
what. That's
Where
technically
did you get that stat from? Because I just looked it up and I can't find it at all.
Tom,
The FBI stuff?
The 1%, less than 1% of people
Yeah, I'll send it.
are essentially gun crimes are stopped by someone who also has a gun.
oh,
I'll
God.
put it in the private chat.
Because
He
I'm
said, so
looking
we
at-
need more trans people.
damn
Okay.
dumb.
Thank you.
And I wonder if that's
Better fight
referring
back.
to like
I'm just
saying,
citizens,
in
because law
theory-
enforcement
in
stops a
theory,
lot of
there's
their
actually-
crimes with guns.
No, but that's
Oh.
the thing, right? You are
Yeah,
going to
Rasta.
escalate because
Oh, shit.
everybody got guns. This is what
Rasta,
happened, for example, in
Fatty
my
be
country.
having this shit
I'm-
so
I
much. I don't even know how to go about
because
getting
I
on
live
a
the fourth
Fatty
safest country
panel,
on the
bro.
planet. But when I get stopped by the cops, I know I'm going to make it home. I might do a detour and go to jail for a little bit if I'm drinking or I'm doing something stupid, but I know I'm going to make it home because the cops are not on their tippy toes extra aggressive because everybody has
see,
guns.
it's
So
two
they have
debates
to be
going
on
on. I
defense
want to
all the
watch,
time.
man.
This is what happens on the United States because everybody has a gun. The cops, everybody, the cops. If you're driving and there's a road rage incident, if you're playing basketball, technically I shouldn't want to fight tomfoolery because maybe tomfoolery has a gun on his bag. But the reality is, it actually happens worst. You should put a dress on it, Marte. You should lower Dexter pants and show his booty.
All right, bro,
Um,
bet.
Well,
So-
what's that just means you're a police officer.
Hey, Marte, you better not fuck with me.
So your cops are lax, not expecting
I
it.
shoot
Our cops
back.
are
Go ahead.
expecting it.
This
You
dude
better
Marte
not
is so
Marte.
fucking stupid,
you.
bro.
Go
He's
ahead.
never
No,
said
no, but-
anything
Yeah, that's his
intelligent.
point,
Every time
though.
I see
Yeah,
him,
but
he
that-
don't
that's
know what the
my
fuck he be
point.
talking
But
about.
that's not necessarily a good thing. Why do you want your cops to be more lax? I would want
Well,
my
no,
cops to be
there's
fair,
less
ready for
tension. There's
It's
less
not normal.
immediate tension. Every time a cop pulls somebody over, they're automatically thinking like, "Oh, my life could be at risk because
Yes,
they might have a gun."
reality, though. That's reality.
Okay,
No,
but
but
pulling
they have-
someone
They
over
don't
for
need
a
gun to
traffic
end
stop.
someone's life. They
But
don't need
that's
a
my
gun to end
point,
his life.
Glenn.
I
No,
think your
Glenn, but that's
messages
my
have been
point.
up on
If
stream.
you like, what did they say? If you are a hammer, you're only going to see nails, something like that. Like the American people know
If
that
anything, your
most,
message
not
won't
most,
show up
but a
in the
lot of
YouTube chat,
Americans
but it will
carry.
show
So
up
they
on
have to
screen.
be on their guard all the time. They're going to escalate
And that's a good
situations
thing.
because as soon as I put the hands on my pocket, oh, don't put your hands on your pocket. Don't. In Portugal, if I put my hands on my pocket, he's going to ask, sir, are you trying to get rid of some drugs? Like, what's going on? Why are you putting your hand on the I don't know what you call.
That's fair. Like the culture is probably different in different places with the relationship between the police and the people. Like it's probably not like it is in America. What's good, TJ? It's going straight. It's so many debates going on that I wanted to watch, so we just watching them.
Call the place where you put the papers and all that shit. So is different,
Yeah, I don't
right?
know,
Because
bro.
I'm expecting to get home, and the cop is expecting to get home too. If everyone is armed, like that's not the expectation. As soon as you reach for the papers or for something, I'm going to assume that you're trying to reach for a gun. How is that not understandable?
No, it's
Sounds
understandable, but
more
there's nothing wrong with it.
cultural.
There's nothing
No,
wrong
sounds
with
like
the
guns.
cops
Sounds like
being
everybody has a gun.
Sounds like
Yeah, I
felons
would
and
rather
stupid
assume
people.
that all guns are loaded, right? Treat all guns as if they're loaded. So
What?
treat all
And
people
those
as they
cops
might
don't know you.
because not everybody
those
needs a gun to kill you.
No,
A
no, no.
knife could do it.
For me to get a gun in Portugal, I need to do a bunch of things.
I
A
could
bunch
teach
of
you how to
things.
make
Like
one real quick.
But
he's
that
so
doesn't mean, like,
rigorous.
okay,
And 1 second, Glenn. He's so rigorous that when people threaten me, Ferry, I'm going to Portugal and I'm going to get you. I says, bro, your shit is going to be stuck in customs. I know for a fact you're not going to do nothing to me. You are going to be mad. You are going to get to customs, and Portuguese customs is going to say, sir, are you John Wick? Are you
Head
like
ass.
who are you to be carrying guns like that? But if I go to the United States, I have to be on my P's and Q's because I know
as you
everybody has one. So I would
yeah,
say
but
that.
like it doesn't mean that
This
what
dude's
I'm getting
too
at is like if
close
you
to
got
his
pulled over,
camera.
Huh?
you could simply
Why
easily
you so
kill the cop
close?
with a knife, just as you could easily kill him with a gun.
As
So why would the
easily?
cop
Are you
It's not no
serious?
as easily.
No,
Why
no,
would he
no.
say something that's stupid? Ain't no as easily with a knife.
Yeah, you don't have to get you don't have to be that far away to
Glenn,
hurt
Glenn,
somebody with a knife.
Glenn.
It's not
am I?
easier.
It's not
No.
easier.
I
What
want
the
to
fuck
I,
is he
I want to
talking
ask you a
about?
question, Glenn. Am
Stupid.
I Arrow? Am I like is my name Arrow? Like the superhero that has the arrows and shit? Like if you are not Falcon or Arrow or Olympic arrow thrower,
Kate
whatever
Bishop.
the fuck it is, of course the man is extra safer because if I
Now
have
you're
a
talking
gun,
about distance, though. You're talking about
You have to
distance.
open the
You're-
door.
Well, yes,
no,
that's
no,
the
no,
point,
hey,
though.
no,
That
no,
that is the
hey,
point,
look,
though,
listen,
Glenn, is
hey,
that
just-
distance
hey,
gives
just- hey,
you
just
a
let me finish
benefit. So distance
Hey,
gives you a
so
benefit.
just-
The
just-
fact that the
just-
guy was on
so
the
we
roof
just-
when he
so-
killed Charlie Kirk makes a huge difference. You couldn't have killed him with a knife
on,
from the
exactly.
roof, right?
You can't kill like somebody with a knife. You could be way more cautious of somebody getting that close to you. That's what's so weird about knife deaths. Is like it's so fucking personal. I think it takes a different level of psychopathy to go up to somebody and stab them to try to kill them. Like that's a different level of vitriol and anger you got to have to do versus shooting somebody. It's not as personal.
Right.
Talking about the example that
You don't know
Patty
how
gave.
hard
He
he can
said
throw.
you're
No, no,
getting
no. Hey,
pulled
Glenn,
over
one
by a
second,
cop.
please.
If you're
Hey,
getting pulled
Glenn,
over by a cop, whether you
let
have
me
a
give you
knife
let
or
me
a
give you
gun,
this
you are
data.
still
No,
a
Glenn,
threat.
let me give you this data. Portuguese cops have guns. They just don't use it. They will be cops for 30 years and never pull the gun out. So if
Interesting.
I have a
I don't know how
knife
tr-
and I
excuse me, I
take
don't know
the
how true
knife
that
away,
is.
you still have the option to actually shoot me. There's not the option is still there, but it doesn't
But
happen
again,
because once
What you mean you give up?
again, if you don't live in a culture of fear, because you fear the person in front of you might have a
Are you behind on the stream, Josh?
pew pew, and you know how people get emotional. Instead of actually going and escalating the situation, you are going to try to de-escalate it because once again, it's something that is rare to happen. Do you think it's cultural, or do you think it's just the abundance of guns that make people go gun crazy and be afraid of this shit?
I don't think there's a gun craziness. I think it's their cultural issues could be applied. To maybe it's a combination of both. But you know what? I'd rather, you know, live in a society where like I think everybody
All your
has a
message
gun,
showing up
'cause
though
that
in the
kinda
chat.
keeps
It's
everybody
showing up.
accountable, rather than in a society where this is safe, and then somebody pulls out a gun, you don't have it, and then now you
You're
wish you had one.
assuming that people are actually like level-headed and intelligent beings who actually care about each other and stuff. Like, to be honest, I don't like that every time I go to a concert, I'm like, or anytime I'm in a crowd, I'm literally worried that there's going to be a shooting. Like, I hate that feeling.
That is
that's
true.
just
That's true.
Wouldn't
me,
you
though.
rather have one and not need it than need it and not have it?
Oh, here we go.
But if somebody got the drop on her from a distance, if she's at a concert, her having a gun on her ain't probably gonna save her if somebody got the drop on her from a distance.
In that
No.
scenario, would you?
And
rather
now
have
everybody
one
has
and not
guns.
need it
And now everybody's
Right.
afraid of each
I'd
other because
rather
everyone has guns.
not worry about like getting shot by some crazy
you can't take worry
person.
away because worry is not a reality. We can't remove worry. So
You can if there's nobody
there's
has a
bad
gun.
people and there's good people.
And I'm not advocating nobody has guns, but that's her point.
And the bad people have guns and good people have guns. In that scenario, would you rather have one and not need it than need it and not have it?
Well, no, Glenn, you're not wrong. But what she's saying is the fact that like states that or even countries that allow more guns and have looser gun regulations.
Steph, bro, like I'm not saying no guns, but the shit gotta get cracked down on. The only way I'm ever comfortable with absolutely no guns is if nobody has access to them at all. Like if the police ain't got them, if pedestrians can't get them, civilians can't get them, and that's like a world that we're not in and nobody can fathom. So like the only way I'm like no guns is if nobody got them. Like there's not even a thought that somebody could have a gun. Or if somebody managed to get one, they'll be made an example of to where nobody else tries to get one. Like if anybody get caught with a gun and they don't even use it, they need to be made an example out of. Like watch what happened to the next person to get caught with a gun. That's the only way I would be cool with not having a gun. That's the only way. Police got tranquilizers. Yeah, get y'all stun guns, man. Make sure they in shape. Be ready to chase motherfuckers. Even keep their batons. All that shit.
Regulations have more gun deaths, and so she's saying that the
Well, that's
fact that they
true.
have
But
more
we also know
makes
that-
makes it to where she's more afraid of
I'm
having
happy to see you in the
get
chat,
shot,
bro.
and therefore she would need one. Whereas if they just didn't allow so many people to have guns, that's not my position, but I'm just saying that
Right.
that's what
That's her
she's saying.
position.
But
Right.
Wouldn't that mean you just have to worry about something other than that? Because look at
No,
the UK. They have-
Glenn is fucking stupid too. Like every time he's dumb as hell too. Because yes, somebody might punch me, but I'm probably not gonna die from that. Like come on.
have no guns, but they have a billion knife deaths. I mean, they
A
got
billion?
knife sprees going around left and right.
It's not comparable.
It's all good, bro. I know how life
impossible,
is
but
over there,
obviously
man.
It's a lot easier to
I'm
kill
saying, like, you
more
could-
people
you
with
remove
guns.
Hey, Glenn,
Right.
if you
How
are-
many-
You do way more damage with a gun than a knife.
Well,
how
you
many
know, with the-
how many
Hey,
schools in the UK had mass killings with knives?
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, if you
Exactly.
are a 12-year-old
watch
with a
UK
hey,
news.
Glenn, let me ask
I don't
you
know.
this.
I don't watch UK news. I'm sure you can safely assume it's probably none. Mass killings, no.
If you have a student, you are a teacher, and you have a 12-year-old
Can't believe he's trying to argue this.
will kick you on your motherfucking head so fast it's not even funny.
What are you talking
Like,
about? I'll be
you-
the teacher with the gun.
No, but there's the thing, Glenn. Let me ask you something. Why are
I just do think that there is this weird obsession with guns that I don't get, and I think it's just for the fact that people knows that other people can have them, so they want to feel safe. And yeah, Bandito, I'd rather be shot than stabbed too. I ain't gonna lie, stabbing seems crazy. That just seems crazy. Like getting stabbed. Psh.
the cops in UK they don't have guns? Why?
TJ.
Because they're F slurs.
No, it's because
Oh,
it's
God.
because, for example, in
Somebody
countries
be running through the airport slashing folks.
like Iceland, in countries like Norway, in countries like the not Ireland, I think Northern Ireland has guns, but the English, they don't have guns.
Oh,
because the
shit.
general
Hey, Steph, you
population
see the
doesn't
shirt
have
I got
guns
on today?
either. So I don't need the bazooka if everybody doesn't have a bazooka.
It's funny you in
right?
here
I
and I
don't
got
need
this
the
shirt on.
extra military with the SWAT and all that shit. When I know for a fact I can only knock down on a person that says, "Hey, why is there so much noise?" I give this example all the time, right? Americans get swatted all the time, especially content creators. When they get big enough, they get swatted all the time. You know what the SWAT team is called in Portugal? Old cop and a lady comes to my door and knock, tuk tuk tuk. Fatty, it's 1 a.m. in the morning. Why you being
Hell
so
no,
loud?
I hope he
That's
exaggerates.
what it is. Because they expect that there's no lethal force involved. So why are we talking about mental health and culture and all that shit when only the difference between Europeans and Americans is guns? Come to Europe
think
and
it's
come.
not-
Hey,
not
Glenn,
the
come to
weapon
Europe
itself,
and
it's
watch.
the-
Hey, Glenn, come to Europe and watch a soccer game. Real Madrid versus Barcelona.
I know this fatty show, but he be hogging the conversation when he got too many people. This black girl ain't said a damn word, I think, since she been on here.
think I
Chelsea
think
against
I
you,
would
you know.
not
Hey, Glenn,
go
one
there
one
because,
second,
like,
please.
I'm
Let me just
thinking,
finish.
like, radio.
Josh, he a hit or miss. Sometimes he do be cooking, but sometimes he don't be knowing what the fuck he talking about. Sometimes it depends on the topic, but
Let me just finish. Let me just finish, and then you got it. We have
yeah,
something
bro, the
called
mental health
hooligans.
shit. The mental health shit. If we address that, I think a lot of this shit would lessen by far.
These motherfuckers are more violent than anybody that you can have on your side of town.
Hooligan.
Yeah, I can't pronounce the A's. I'm Portuguese. God damn it. Hooligans.
Oh, he said it.
Hooligans. Okay?
Hooligans. Got it.
Hooligans, right? These people
Oh,
are
you
more
seen Fatty
violent.
before?
They are violent for sport. They literally call each other and say, my team is going to play your team. Before the game or after the game, we're going to meet each other and we're going to fight each other. You know why such violent people can go to weekends over and over and over again? Because there's no guns. Because
Yeah, especially because like he knows what it's like to not have guns. This ain't even supposed to be a gun topic necessarily. They're supposed to be talking about the girl that got stabbed in Charlie Kirk. I mean, I guess Charlie Kirk is gonna be guns, but
that we implement a bunch of guns over here is as soon as you punch me, you out. So respectfully, it's not cultural. It's just the abundance of guns, and the only solution y'all have
America's
is thoughts and
culture
prayers,
is
and let's go
obsessive
next
over
week.
The
guns.
only solution is more guns.
Marte, was that
Oh, God, Glenn is so fucking stupid, bro.
a
Fuck.
Colt 45? What did you just pound the bottom of?
I mean, I think
That
here's
was
the biggest
protein.
problem. Think about this. The only time when gun, like
It was
when
a
the
tall
off
boy.
targets are like gun-free zones. Those are the ones that tend to get shot.
All right, it looked like a 40 ounce.
It's not the places where you think people are going to get shot, right? Okay,
Are
like
you
a firing
racially
range.
serious?
Who thinks to get?
You think only black people
shot
drink
at a
Coke?
firing range? Nobody plans on getting shot at a firing range, but it's always these soft targets like the schools, the churches, where guns are not allowed, right? Tend to be the places where they get shot.
Don't
Maybe
most
if
of them
guns were
happen at
allowed there,
home?
most people would not shoot them.
I thought
but-
most
but
of them
mo-
happened
most of
at
Yes,
those
home.
it's a lot of gun deaths in homes.
No, Tom,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
not
lot.
even there.
Probably
The
accurate.
access,
It is
the
a lot.
access to guns,
Accidental shootings.
the access to guns, make you feel reluctant to put your kid on a public school, knowing that every motherfucking 2 days there's a school shooting. Like and the school shooting only happens, you know why? Because Glenn has 7 guns, and Powder Dusty has 7 guns, and
12.
Tom Fuller has 7 guns, and my kid can steal 1 gun from you, and you don't even notice.
This
because
is
there's
very
so
important for me to
Well,
clarify
first,
because
your kid
Marte's
cannot
here. I
steal
have
one.
zero
No,
guns.
I'm just saying. Like this happens
I-
because I can actually sneak a gun out and go to school, and you wouldn't even notice because everybody's full of guns.
Again,
That's
people
Fatty not letting nobody talk.
here are
That's
going to
what-
have
that's
guns, but
Americans are full of
That
guns.
speaks to more of not good practicing good gun safety at home, right?
Well,
That's not has nothing to do with
you
the
don't need
gun
good-
or the gun
you don't need
owner.
gun
I
safety
mean,
if
the
you
gun
don't have
owner
no
should have
gun.
locked his guns up. If that was the case, then you wouldn't have that problem. So it's not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
the gun.
So, no, but Glenn, this is the thing, right? For example, kids are bullied in both sides of the ocean. If I'm bullied, I'm calling my older brother, and we're going
What
to
the
fight,
fuck?
right? Or I grab
really-
a stick, or I get.
I really wish we weren't having a fucking gun debate. This is
Oh, Tom talking to us.
the last thing I wanted to get into.
Yeah, that's not what this was
Still
even
somebody
supposed to
with
be
a brick,
about.
You just hit him in the head, right? So
But that's not the
that
Glenn.
still be the
Glenn,
ultimate outcome, right?
Glenn, would you rather fight somebody with a brick or a gun?
Depends on the fight.
I'm shooting Jesus.
Oh my God,
I
Glenn!
know.
Wait,
this is
what did
the
he say? What?
Listen,
Depends on the fight.
I'm shooting Jesus.
Oh my God,
I
Glenn!
know, this
He
is the
is so.
disingenuous
He
shit
is
that
not being real.
It is what it is.
He know he full of shit.
So why do you have a
Look,
cabinet
it
full of
depends on the
guns and
fight.
not
I- I'm
bricks?
not-
So why don't you have a cabinet full of bricks? Why do you have
Oh,
a cabinet full of guns? Just keep a bunch of bricks around then.
Yeah, they not.
Right?
And this, like, again, this wasn't even really supposed to be a gun conversation. That's why Tom was like, I didn't want to talk about this. That's not what even
I
this,
got the
this supposed to be
bricks in the
talking
front
about.
yard, so don't worry, they're there.
To hide
Oh,
behind when
okay.
you.
Damn.
Look-
Hey, Glenn, there's a reason
I mean,
why
to blame
Americans
an
don't have a
inanimate
bunch.
object. Not the gun is the issue. It's
Hey,
access
hey,
to the
Glenn.
gun. And
Okay,
it's who
so
has the gun.
This is why
That's the
the,
problem.
the left wants to have conversations about how we can have better gun responsibility and gun safety. But like I said earlier, the
Then have
right
that
doesn't
conversation.
eat. You guys don't want to. You guys want to
You're
keep
right.
everything the exact way it
Conversation over.
is. So
Can a
then
man
just
be a woman?
So
They
then,
will say thoughts
What?
and prayers.
why
thoughts
do you
and
keep
prayers.
bringing that up? Why do you not? Why are you
Because
talking
that's
about
if you
gender when
can't
we're
get
talking
basic
about guns?
fundamentals of
Why is he
reality,
We're not
we can't
talking
talk
about gender. We're
gun
talking about fucking guns. I don't know why
As
you keep
a trans
obfuscating.
channel, I
One
find that
thing that-
offensive.
One
What
thing
the f-
does lead to the other.
No, it actually
What?
doesn't. Talking about gun
Yes,
safety has
because
nothing to
the
do.
truth is the truth. The truth is a principle all the way across. So if you can't answer
So
that
you just
question
don't want. So
truthfully, then I
This
don't know how do I
motherfucker
know that
I'm not
retarded.
answering that question
correct.
because we're talking about guns right now. Like I just think it's actually stupid and
Let's be real,
retarded,
when
and
you
you're
say
just
you want to talk
memeing.
about gun safety, what you mean is you want to convince people who legally own guns to legally own less guns.
No, it's not.
That's
It's not about.
okay.
No. It's not about how many guns you own. It's about
The
who.
type of guns that legal owners are allowed to own. You want people who are law-abiding citizens to give up their rights to do something.
No, not necessarily.
Absolutely.
See, she already said that she's not trying to take guns, but you're trying to argue that she wants to take guns.
Name
No.
another gun. Name
Literally.
another
I want to
right-
have a. I want to have a
name another
conversation about
proposal
how
that
about
doesn't
the
do-
steps people take to get guns, the people who are getting guns,
Right.
The process.
maybe the
What-
type of gun.
another
The
problem
fact that you can build your own gun is like a little
Hey, Ghost, do you
sketchy.
know what's funny?
Like
You know what's
I
funny?
just want to have these conversations, like
Right,
how
So you want
the
legally
age
owned,
maybe.
home-built guns to
Exclusive
be
now.
illegal now. Exactly.
No. I just want to say these real quick.
I don't
right?
think that's a problem. I don't. It's illegal to build your own bomb. Like, what were you talking about? Why? I don't think you should. No, guns are too dangerous for people to be able to build their home. I'm sorry.
The same people
I don't have a problem with it being illegal to build a gun at home.
that say to us every day,
Shit, you get carded. They card you to buy certain fucking drugs out of the store now because of what you can do at home with them. You can't. Some drugs they fucking take your information when you buy it. So what?
rights don't exist. Rights are made up. Every time we talk about guns, they say, "This my God-given right. It's my right to have a gun." It's this- I
It sure ain't God given. It ain't God given right.
thought
to own a
all of
gun.
I thought all of that was made up. I thought all of that was made up, and all of a sudden you can't get rid of something that is made up.
the whole point. What are you
Well,
talking
didn't
about?
they say guns
Fair
are,
point.
our rights are protected by force?
Jesus loves his AK-47.
Yeah, you can punch people.
So they said, isn't the rights protected by force?
Glenn needs to shut the fuck up.
Gun
You-
to
yes,
protect
you can-
that right, and they're
Yes.
going to use that force.
I'm finna start
Rey
talking in
Mysterio,
time.
Rey
chat.
Mysterio doesn't need guns. Why do you need guns? Why don't you fight with your hands like a man?
Different things.
No, my question is why
Me and
people
Juan
don't
are
fight each
completely
other like a man.
different things.
That's crazy.
Are you trying to emasculate somebody with a gun now?
Oh, how behind am I?
Mm.
I can't
Are you man shaming now, Fatty?
No. I'm not man shaming. I'm just saying if people
You
have
saying
a
someone's
problem
less,
with it,
less
I
of a man
think
because he has a firearm?
no. I actually let me say this. I think that people that actually solve that shit with their fists are more of a man than men that do pew pew.
I mean,
my
yeah, that's
second
true.
amendment, my growth. Like I believe that if
That's
you're
true.
getting robbed, if you are actually in a situation where you don't want to fight and people try to fight you, I agree you should have the right to defend
He
yourself.
definitely is drinking a Colt 45.
But when two people have a clear disagreement and they want to fight, I think pulling a gun or saying I'm going to pew pew you is the most bitch ass motherfucking shit that ever is, because why you try to kill me for a random
I
conversation on
think if
YouTube?
you start
Fist
a
can
fist
kill, and
fight,
not
you
every
get
man
ass
can
kicked
take
and
on the next man. Ugh.
you get mad and you go
Yeah,
grab
but
a
even if you can't take on the next, somebody in the chat said that. But even if you can't take on the next man, you have a less likelihood of fucking dying.
gun, that's a bitch move.
That's
We're adults. Fist
another
fight
thing.
is a gun
I don't
fight.
think that's the majority of the issue here.
I
think a
agree
lot of-
with that too.
Fatty is on his period.
I agree with
mean,
that too.
Or you could be like
I think-
Tom Foolery and just shove dog shit in your opponent's mouth.
Wait, what?
What?
This is probably
Like, what would you say? That
What's the lore behind this?
this is
This is the great story.
What's the
I got into a fight a while ago, and while I was in a fight with a guy, the guy's dog had just shit on the ground, so I pick up the dog shit and shoved it in
What
his
the
mouth and his
fuck?
eyes, all that shit. So,
I will
I
say
didn't know this story.
The guy pew pew you, Tom. I wouldn't be surprised.
well, they had guns pointed at me while I was doing this, so just to be fair, they had guns pointed at me while I was doing this.
What the hell?
Disgusting.
Tom life is
I have
crazy.
to.
But Ghost,
Martin,
what
we
is
can
the
hear you.
what is
Yeah, we
the
can hear you.
process that you would like for the gun ownership?
So I don't know, like the ideal process. Again, I just want to have a conversation about it. Like maybe
About taking away
maybe-
people's legal
See,
gun
he
ownership.
keeps saying
maybe
take it
like
away.
a
She didn't.
certain,
She already said
maybe
no.
until you're 21, you're not allowed to own certain types of guns. Like you're
You
allowed
better
to own
think
like
Charlie Kirk.
like certain types of guns until you're 21,
that
or
update
like
Charlie Kirk?
you need
What the
some kind of
fuck? Shut
training
up.
before you're allowed, or there's like
I mean, I'm
a
all that
amount of
training.
time.
That's a
All
good
these are
idea.
Yeah, like
I love how they
Charlie
asked her and they talking over her as she's trying to explain.
I'm all
Kirk,
for
and so
like
we can
anybody with
reject
a
them wholesale.
firearm should have to go through a firearm safety and.
Well, we
have
weren't
that
even
program
talking about
and
things
be
that would have saved Charlie
clear
Why
Kirk.
don't we
before you
just
can
have
get.
Right, that
firearm
wasn't the
safety
convo.
in school, public schools? Teach everyone how to handle guns. Everybody, whether they're going to have one or not.
Yeah, this isn't even about whether or not it would save Charlie Kirk,
Right,
because this is a
right. Why
conversation
is he
about the
saying that?
statements made by
That's
Charlie
so
Kirk and the fact that
stupid.
he said that he would rather us have guns, even though there's going to be a certain amount of deaths. So we're having a conversation about that, not
And he
whether
said it
about.
was 21 is not the case. Somebody in the chat said it's already case as far as 21. No, it's not.
And once again, and once again,
What he's saying is he knows he
let
can't
me-
get rid of gun violence altogether.
no, let me just say this,
right?
Glenn.
So there's gonna be gun deaths.
Glenn, also
Yes,
you're
yes,
still
so
your
this-
mic is still
so
doing
this is-
it,
hold on
and
one
you're
second.
super
So this is-
quiet.
yeah, it's
so
really
this-
hard to hear you.
So this is my statement,
You're
right?
not talking into
He
it
didn't
correctly.
deserve to die. I hope the person that killed him gets whatever happens to them, the most egregious. But he said it. He said it. I don't think people thought it was him, and this is what I'm talking about. When people are saying this about random kids and random people across the United States, nobody has a problem with it because yeah, he's right. But when it happens to somebody close to you, now all of a sudden you don't want us to use the words that he said against him. I'm going to move the conversation to a second thing, and then we're probably going to talk relationship and wrap it up.
Oh hell no!
Sarah.
I don't hit no relationship shit.
Oh shit.
And I know, Sarah, I know. So I'm just asking you first because of this, right? He said that he doesn't believe in empathy. That is a made-up word,
Mhm.
right? And the people that were defending him was literally asking on Twitter and Reddit, why are you doing all these memes and clowning him? Don't you guys have no empathy? Like should we have empathy for him, or should we follow his words and says the dude doesn't believe in empathy, so he gets nothing from me?
It's not empathy. It's just plain respect. It's human decency.
Shut the fuck
that's
up.
all
Shut the fuck up.
it is. It's just plain respect.
Through
If
empathy.
somebody passes, somebody passes away out of respect to those
Facts,
who
Bandito.
were close to that person, just out of respect. You don't even have to give a shit. It's just respect.
Right, but
Just
why?
respect
But
is
why
a-
would you care about respect towards them?
Exactly.
Why would I want to give them respect?
He didn't respect nobody.
Self-serving.
'Cause
I'm
I
not nobody, but he didn't respect a lot of people.
Want
can-
to be
you can see the self-interest.
empathizing with them, maybe is the.
No.
No.
So for people,
Okay, I
That's
don't
not
think you guys know
empathetic
what
to the
respect
family.
Yeah, like
means.
you don't know what these. She doesn't know what any of these words mean.
1 second, friends, just to make sure that we have the right quote. I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up new age term that does a lot of damage. Now I got the correct quote. You got.
Yeah, I've done
Oh,
several
that
streams
wasn't
about
the
how
end of the quote. That was not the end of the quote.
There's a
He
little bit more. to
continued
that
saying
quote.
that compassion is a better word. Finish
Actually,
the
he
whole
says
quote,
sympathy is
Fatty.
a better word because he doesn't like the word empathy because when you use empathy, you take on the person's emotions and that draws your decision. He said he'd rather use sympathy because you will be able to make a decision without taking on the person's emotion.
Well, they're
they
two different words that serve two different purposes. Obviously, just because they sound alike doesn't mean they're interchangeable.
A valid point when you're talking with someone. That's why he was saying that.
What-
It
Daddy's
wasn't-
straw man got turned away at the door.
No. It's fine.
Damn.
Did he say it was a
stand
made-up
I
word?
stand correct.
He said it was. I
I'm
think
not-
he said it was a made up term.
1 second. I'm not Marte. I am not
made up
trying
meaning or
to
something?
win a debate just because I want to win a debate. Sorry. Bro.
Wait, but
Somebody
did
in
he
the
say
chat said it, all these words are different for a reason? Exactly.
Empathy was a made-up
That does
word?
sound like Marte though.
Or I mean,
He said-
empathy?
1 second.
He said, I have the exact quote. He said, he believes in sympathy, feeling pity or concern for someone suffering, but not empathy because you're taking on that person's feelings. That's why he doesn't believe in empathy.
Empathy is
understanding
a
what they're
weakness.
feeling.
Empathy
That
is
don't
a
mean-
Oh my God.
Empathy is
a
not a
weakness?
weakness.
It's
What?
not a
Yes, it is.
weakness.
Just
This is
because you
God
can put
telling you
yourself
what-
in somebody else's
That was
shoes
the
and
most thank-
understand
It's
what they're feeling, that
understand
doesn't mean you
exactly.
Hold on,
I
don't
hate, I hate
empathy,
this
empathy,
idea.
empathy literally makes you sympathetic. How can you even know
Yes,
how can you feel
Because
something
when-
about what someone
okay,
is going
so-
through without knowing
So
or trying to
Ali,
feel what someone's
Ali,
going
for
through?
example, when you are you an empath, that means you take on the person's feelings and emotions.
Yes, but
Yes,
the idea is well, hold on. But the idea is when you empathize with his family, you're trying to think, okay, if I
was
like,
in their
if my
position.
family died, I wouldn't want a bunch of people running around like making fun of me, saying they're glad that this person died. Like that's empathy. Whereas like sympathy is saying like, oh, that that sucks. Like I could understand
Right,
how
that-
that sucks. But empathy
exactly.
is like, empathy is
No, but
putting
you
yourself
asked-
in their shoes.
Exactly.
You asked a great
Exactly.
question.
Exactly. So empathy isn't a sign of weakness. He said he don't believe in it, but yet everybody, she's talking about basic human decency and respect, but he don't even believe in the word that pretty much is showing your human decency, where it's like, damn, if I was his wife or I was his kids, how the fuck would I feel if that was me? Versus sympathy is just like, damn, that's fucked up, man. That's real fucked up. Sympathy only ain't gonna really work in this type of situation.
Why should we show sympathy? It's the empathy. Who is this person? What was their life like? What do I feel like about what he just went through, or if I can feel like what he went through? The empathy is what makes someone sympathetic. If you can't even think about what someone else felt through, or even connect to what someone went through, how can you even give them sympathy? You don't even know what it feels like.
You can give them respect. The problem with empathy and sympathy is they're both dependent on you feeling a certain sort of way. So it goes down if you're tired. It goes down if you don't know the person. Respect, you can accomplish
That's a fact, Josh.
everything better with respect that people lean on empathy for. Empathy is the
That's
weakness.
because you respect people that are closer to you and people that have more
That you
power.
care about.
When you're sympathetic,
And Charlie didn't do nothing to make you have to respect him.
sympathy,
One second, Red. I got you, Red. It's just 1 second uninterrupted.
Yep.
Red.
Charlie,
Respect a
he
lot
didn't
of
have
times comes
respect
with
for a lot
power.
of people.
If there was a 1 million subscriber YouTuber right here, we probably have more respect for him than you have for Fatty, because Fatty only has 15,000. Respect is not actually fair. A lot of people gain respect for
It's more
shit
fair
that
than
should be
empathy.
respected about.
Now move the goalpost.
No, the
though.
fucking
no,
what the
more
fuck?
fair
These
than
people, Glenn and the Powder Dusty. These are two of the dumbest people I've ever seen.
But the goalpost was moved.
Sarah a little stupid too.
One second, please. 1 second,
About
please.
emotions.
Yeah. But Ali, this is what I'm saying to Powder and then Petty Red, right? If I respect you because you have 1 million subscribers and you fall out of grace, right? I won't respect you anymore. But if I have empathy for you, no matter how many subscribers you have, if I put myself on your shoes,
Okay,
I
fair.
will always feel sympathy for you because I'm putting myself on your shoes and I'm
That's
treating
fair.
you like
That's
I
fair.
disagree. I think that respect none of them are perfect, but I think respect is more stable than empathy.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Can I address that? Because
Well, we're
No,
saying the
it's
respect
not.
comes
1 second,
afterwards,
please.
though.
I
Like,
interrupted Red.
Right,
I
like
interrupted Red really bad.
no.
I
This is what they're doing to defend Charlie Kirk. Like they're willing to. That's what this cult shit is like. It's like you have to defend people no matter how stupid the shit they say is. It's just like it's like because he's like an offset of MAGA, and it's like, well, we hold all this loyalty to MAGA, we gotta hold this loyalty to Charlie because he's like one of the top influencers that's MAGA. So it's just it's absurd.
want to say the difference between sympathy and empathy. So when you're being empathetic with someone, like I was saying, you actually
want us to feel
absorb
bad
that
so
person's
bad.
emotions. Like you
It's
actually start
crazy.
boo-hoo crying, and you get depressed, and you go through all of these things
It
when
makes
you're
no
empathetic
sense.
with a person. But when you have sympathy, you kind of keep it at a distance. Yes, that's the definition. You can look at it.
I'm looking at the definition. That is not the definition. That is.
Excuse me, I'm talking. You care about someone. You care about how they feel. You care about what has happened. That's sympathy.
I'm looking
This,
at the definition.
yeah, I'm
too,
looking
but
at the
not what you
definition.
said.
The definition is about the like.
Hello,
The,
but I'm talking.
unfortunately,
You do not have to take on their actual emotions. You do not have to take on their problem, what they're feeling.
Yeah, you don't have to
have
take it on in sympathy.
on the depression that they're feeling. That's when you have empathy. When you have sympathy, it's at a distance. You care, You love them. You share what they're feeling. I'm so sorry for what happened to
That
you.
is true.
That's sympathy.
But she keep
It's a
repeating herself for her to be
difference.
yelling
that's
about
what he was
talking.
saying.
She's repeating
I'm
herself.
Yeah,
saying you're
it's
wrong.
100%.
understanding
No,
their
she's
feelings.
100% right. And the thing is our feelings and emotions change. And if you base everything on your feelings, feelings are going to cloud
What
your
is this
judgment.
about basing everything? All the man said was he doesn't believe in it. Therefore, nobody should care about having it for him because that's what he said. And some people are going to have it regardless because that's how they feel. But he said he don't even believe in it as a concept or whatever. So why should anybody take that on for his sake?
Judgment. That's why sympathy. I agree with the respect thing, but even sympathy, I'd say sympathy with respect is a lot better than empathy because empathy, you're experiencing that person's emotions, and it's going to cloud your judgment.
Okay, Tom, do you want to read it or should
Dollar,
I?
Judgment for what?
You can care about someone you don't respect. Just because you respect someone, just don't mean you'll care for them. So that's another
very
thing. So even
true.
if I respect someone,
Yep.
don't mean I necessarily care for them. But I can care for them and not respect
Yeah,
them.
so
the
the-
empathetic part is when you're trying to feel what the person is feeling.
The-
And that's typically if you care about them, and that's where sympathy will come sometimes as well too. But mostly, if someone doesn't care about an individual, they're not even going to give them no sympathy nor no empathy. It's a lot of times I'm like, I don't care. There's people that die in other countries. There's people that's in poverty right now. Most people don't even give a damn about what they're going through because they don't care about them.
But they have
it's
sympathy.
only when you actually caring about the person or their situation where empathy and sympathy comes into play.
So
I think
the
that's the shortcoming.
definition, according to Oxford, is
That
the
would be the
ability to
shortcoming.
understand the feelings of another. So you
Because,
don't actually
here,
have to
I
have
can
those
treat them
feelings,
both- I can-
have those
You can
emotions.
also
You
go
can
down
just
to just
understand
forever
their
because I can
feelings.
treat empathy and sympathy as if the same thing because they both have the same shortcoming, which it depends on you, the
Shortcoming.
observer, to actually give a fuck. Whereas if
Mhm.
you just operate in a system of respect for other people, it doesn't matter what sort of mood you're in or whether
Yeah,
or not you like
Josh.
that person. You recognize somebody just died. I'm not going to make a joke
Yeah.
about them. Right
If you
Well
respect
said.
them, you also have to give a fuck. What do you mean?
No,
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 because
you
you operate on
you don't
respect.
even
and-
stop. You don't even have to respect the person. You can respect the concept of basic human decency. You can also respect yourself
That's
and your
called
own fucking
empathy.
dignity. You can also respect in your own fucking dignity as a person to say, you know what, I think I'm above making fun of someone who just passed away. I'm above making fun of
But
someone who's
wait, why do you just have to automatically change how you feel about a person because they died? I think even the people that really can't stand Charlie, they be like, I feel bad for his wife and kids for sure. But you don't just automatically change how you feel about somebody because they passed away necessarily. What the fuck is this?
just murdered.
That's
I'm
called
above
sympathy.
That. I respect myself. No, that's not sympathy.
That
That
you're
is
literally defining
self-respect.
sympathy right
Hey,
now.
one-
You
one
literally
second.
just
Hey,
defined
Sarah,
sympathy.
Hey, Sarah, can I ask you a question? Can I respect my enemies and still try to?
So, do y'all think it's more helpful to someone?
My mouth
Yes.
was moving. One
This
second.
is true. You could have respect for somebody and not give a fuck about them. I think that's true.
It's always moving, fatty. That's
Like there's some NBA players that some people might say they respect, but if they pass away, that don't mean they're gonna be like sad. Like they might not care, but they respect them.
why you're
Yes,
fatty.
that's why I have big lips.
We're victims. We're victims. So let us be victims, please.
I'm
So-
glad you're back from Africa.
I know I ate a lot of donuts. I was going to bring you some donuts. I tell you
I'm
where you can get them, but
actually-
Mike
I'm
made
I
no
don't
tariffs
need 'em.
on them.
I don't
I'm
need them.
actually from New York, okay? Thug life. So this is what I'm going to say, Sarah. Can I respect my opponent and my enemy because they are an incredible enemy and still try to do the most damage possible to
That's
them?
true.
Can I respect my enemies and still want to delete them? Can I do that?
Can you still respect them and still take them out in one blow?
Yes.
Yes.
So how does that respect helps me not go? I can see, hey, Marte is a giant. I have to
Exactly,
respect
Josh.
his
Like you
muscles
can
and
literally
his
have
bars, but
like if you're like he said in sports or combat sports or whatever in your competition, dance competition. Like there was the dance teams that I used to go against. I respected how good they were. I respected it. There was a good work ethic. But now we talking about death. That's a little different because I knew them. But you know, that don't mean I like some of them people. Like you don't have to like people, but you can respect them.
if you fuck with me, I'll fuck him up. How does that stop violence exactly?
It's still just out of you're not at war with somebody who just passed away, fatty.
That's not the point, girl.
It's a whole different concept. It's just simply
Not
out of
anymore.
respect.
No, out of empathy, not respect.
This is where respect could have done what empathy didn't do for Tom.
Let me say this, and because Ghosty is on the backup, I'm going to drop again, right? I don't mock Charlie Kirk because I have empathy towards him and his family. I would never want something to happen to me or to actually, for example, the political commentators that were very affected about it. If Andrew or Destiny or Myron or any of these people that I disagree fundamentally a lot of times with these things, I will never want this to happen to them. And I understand why I will be scared, because I was literally saying this is one of the advantages of talking from the other side of the ocean. I'm safe. Nothing is going to happen to me, right? So I have empathy for him and for the people that is going to be on this position, because I would hate tomorrow to wake
Damn,
up
H really do not exist over there.
and now he's somebody that is a political commentator like Tom or like Marte, and now he happens to something that a person that I actually know and actually appreciate. You see what I'm saying? So his empathy is not respect, because a lot of those people, I don't respect them respectfully. I think a lot of these people are coons. I don't respect them, not because they are wrong, it's because they are sellouts. Every time they have an opportunity to shit on people that look like them, they will take it. So I would not say I don't want you dead because I
what's good,
respect
Christian?
you. I don't want you dead because I have empathy for you. You have a family, you have a business, you have friends. I don't want them to go through the same thing that this man did, right? So
It can still be out of respect for common human decency.
Like we
Right,
just
that-
had a perfect
but that-
example. What Tom
This
just
is such
did-
a stupid thing to
Tom
say.
just did
I don't know
showed
what she
a
keeps saying.
failure of empathy, but it could have been solved by the presence of respect.
Well, so the I
Chris,
don't
what's
respect
good?
Charlie Kirk though, and I the problem is that like
Right. So if you just
empathy
operated-
is
Yeah, Sandra, that shit is super wild. It's super wild. Like it's super wild. They don't care about who they don't care about. Let the left not care about who they don't care about.
but
It's that
sympathy
simple.
is that like you
And
understand.
if it's gonna be for different reasons. If Joe Biden passed, I don't expect a lot of the people from the right to give a damn. I don't expect them to care. They don't have to. If you truly in your heart didn't fuck with them, then you didn't fuck with them.
And what that person's going through. I'm looking at the definition
So
right now.
nothing
The
could have gotten
ability,
you to
the
stop
ability
Damn, bro.
to
comment right there.
understand their feelings. Not that I'm getting all emotional and oh boo-hoo, but I do understand that like if for his family, what it would be like that this would be hard, especially with people sharing videos all over the place of like blood squirting out of his neck. This is horrific, and I
Yeah, that's
can't like
terrible.
imagine what that would be like. And then
Right.
all of these fucking TikTokers running around saying that this is good, that they're happy he died. It's fucking disgusting, and I can't imagine what that would be like to be in their shoes. The sorry, that's empathy. Sorry, sympathy.
And not only that, Kai probably barely knew who he was. I saw when he was like, "This the dude with the crazy takes." Like I don't know if he even knew that man's name.
is just understanding that like the concept of something
Clearly,
is
none of
bad.
those
So
things
like
work
Yeah,
for you
remorse
to
is crazy.
not make
Well,
that.
isn't it simply to say like sympathy is I see your pain, empathy I feel your pain.
So
and
no,
then-
no, I was just in the middle of trying to describe it. That
Thank you, Chris. I don't want. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Chris. I don't want the jokes, man. It's one thing to not care, but I don't know. I'm not right now. Personally, feels too soon for some jokes. Like, thank you for the super chat.
And hold on. The exact difference is, I can sympathize with Charlie Kirk's family because it's a horrible thing, but I can't empathize because I haven't been through that myself. So I can empathize with somebody who's been through something that I have been in their shoes. Like I can feel their pain, but I can only sympathize with people.
No, yeah, Charlie didn't care about people like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't. I don't feel like he felt for them people
who have been through something that I haven't been through, but I can understand probably what they're feeling. That's literally the difference.
So if you're
literally
going
just
through
said
something
that
extremely
empathy is-
emotional and like you need someone to essentially be a rock, do you want them to empathize
That
with
depends on what you're looking for. You can't keep acting like sympathy is the only thing that matters. Like some people need empathy.
you and
It
be emotional
depends.
and maybe make bad decisions? Or
It's-
do
And you
want
don't always need a decision to be made.
someone who's
nothing to
going
do
to,
with
can I please
emotion.
finish? Or do
Exactly.
you want someone who's going to sympathize and have a clear mind and not be as
It depends on what you
emotional as
want.
you to give you direction? Or do you want someone to be selfish and make it about themselves so they
Well,
feel
It's
what
not.
you're
That's not what that
feeling
means.
instead
What the
of
fuck is
actually
wrong with
giving
what the
you
hell is
the
she talking
direction that you
about?
need and the comfort that you need? Because if you are feeling the same thing as them, you're not going to be able to comfort them the way that they need.
That's not true.
No, you
It's
missed
not.
it.
That's not even
being
true.
emotional.
Can I
It's
get back in?
100%
I literally
true.
just explained to you the difference, and it has nothing to do with being
Yeah,
emotional.
we just explained
Yeah,
it. It
let's
has
Doesn't
nothing
have
to
an
do with
That's so
being
understanding.
emotional.
stupid.
Yeah, so,
Like,
so
No,
yeah,
you're
It's not
addressing
like,
the first
oh, you just lost a parent and you be like, oh my God, I lost him too. Oh God, like that's not how empathy works. What the fuck are you talking about?
part of the definition.
let me get
The
back in.
second part
Please.
is
I tag in Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, so let me get back in. So I think what Ghost is saying, or that's her name. Yeah,
Ghosty,
it
yeah.
doesn't mean that your default going to be emotional. It just means you've been there and you've experienced it. So just because I lost my mom, I can be there for you because you lost your mom. That doesn't mean I'm emotional with you.
Right.
So I don't know how you're getting to that point of where
Right.
just because a person is empathizing, that they're therefore emotional and just
Right.
uncontrollable. No,
It's just this is a stupid understanding of what these words mean. It's just like they just take the most fucking caricaturized version of what these things mean and these concepts and make it act like that's what anybody's saying.
simply, hey, I went through this. And you I can give you some guidance because I've actually experienced it. Sympathy is hey, I feel
No,
bad for you.
I ain't gonna kick you.
Okay,
especially because you ain't know.
And it's fucked up that it happened. Okay,
He's
so
100%
and you're not
right.
random.
Resting non-empathetic face.
Yeah, I have no empathy for any of you.
I have a question. I wanted to give this.
Yeah, I feel bad for his kids and wife, man. That shit is fucking terrible.
Was his wife and kids there when it happened? They were there,
I
but
hope
it didn't
not.
actually witness
Is
it
that
happening. Were they
confirmed?
in like out?
Yeah, they were there.
Yes,
I didn't know
so
that.
so you guys confirming it for me. And I'm like, bro, that's super duper traumatic. No matter how you feel about that, this man's kids, like their dad died, within yards from him, right?
I mean, somebody I
think
know
they
was
were
literally
first
the
row,
guy
weren't
who
they?
was debating him at the time. He was literally in the middle of having a gun debate with Charlie
Yeah, we're gonna watch Hunter's interview after this.
when Charlie got shot.
Damn, his family
Yeah.
was there?
I think his family was in like the first row, I believe, if I'm not
no
mistaken.
fucking way.
That's wild.
It's
Ain't
just
no
crazy to me that y'all
fucking
say that
way.
people can't help someone because they're being empathetic. When most of us, when you're helping someone, whether it's your child, you can feel what they went through when they
No
were young
fucking
kid, teens
way.
or
They
older,
was
so you
front
can help them. Don't
row,
mean you gotta make
bro.
Who said
a
you
negative.
could help them? I
It
didn't
doesn't
hear
mean
nobody
you're
say
feeling
that.
depressed too.
Lord have
I
Like,
didn't hear that. Who said that?
Yeah, Pretty, didn't you want people to be quiet when you talk?
I'm sorry.
Don't
Lord,
apologize.
That just turned her on.
We've been playing that card all day.
Yeah, let me play
I
my
was
big
just
card.
asking the question. Who said that? Because I didn't hear nobody
Hold on.
say that.
I enjoy my donuts. Let me just get what I need to say.
You ain't give us no donuts.
Stop yelling with these weak ass mics, bro.
Tariffs on them. I was trying to get them imported, but they put tariffs on them. But what I'm saying is that empathy can give you a greater sense of sympathy.
Bro, I
like
can't believe
knowing
his
what
kid- his
trying to
wife
feel
and
what someone's
kids was
going through
there.
can help you be more sympathetic. Just because
that's
you have an
fucking
empathy
terrible,
doesn't mean
bro.
you can help someone resolve an issue. You could be empathetic or not be empathetic. You can still help someone resolve an issue, but it helps a lot if you're being empathetic to try to think about what they be going through to give them a better resolution and go, hey, I've been there before. I demonstrated these emotions and made this decision. You can feel those things, but don't make a negative reaction. out of
Damn,
those things.
bro.
It's perfectly fine to try to feel like
mirroring is
someone
what
else is going through.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's
how that
perfect.
works.
It is how it works.
That's true, Sandra. Like that's I would love to go back and see these people's reactions and how they felt when they seen like you said, like Philando or they just try to use the fact that George Floyd committed crimes as a justification, for him being killed in the middle of the fucking street. Like I really do wonder what their reaction was to people like Philando.
I was in mental health for 15 years. So who else has been on mental health for 15 years? Because everybody likes using their credentials. How long you been in mental health? Who's been on mental health here? Who helped kids?
Why were you institutionalized that long?
I give my love for donuts, man. I was addicted to sugar.
Well, for all the dumbasses who keep saying that like empathy is something that's just made up, literally all words and all concepts are things that are just made up. So the fact that you guys keep, it's just made up, they're all.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. That's a stupid thing to say, but we all know that what Charlie was trying to say was the concept is made up. It like as if it's not really a thing. That's what he meant. So people saying like everything's made up is like that's not the point.
Fucking made
Charlie
up.
Kirk said it that is right. That's to me because Charlie Kirk says
Now,
you don't
can
need empathy. Now,
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. Like y'all really like sat here and tried to defend the stupid shit that he said just because you don't want to act like you're going against him in any way, especially because he's passed. It's like don't defend nonsense.
right now it's the law
Mhm.
and it's concrete. That's great.
Mhm.
No, no.
can I say something?
That's what it
Okay,
gives
so
off.
this adds some more context to what he was actually talking about. So it says that he was talking about the political climate. He said that he feels basically empathy leads to policy driven feelings and not logic when people are in doing political things, and people are not using logic
Is it bad
because
to
they're so
completely not
empathetic to
empathize?
certain situations, people that have done crime, people that have done things or poor choices, that is blurring their logic because they're so empathetic for them. So that
But that doesn't make sense because again that makes because Charlie don't understand the concept, and I don't know if she's just explaining or defending, but the concept, if he's thinking of it as you being weak and emotional, that's not what empathy is. That's the problem.
why he made that comment.
I mean, I can
You don't
agree with
think
that
that
to some point.
eye
Like the
for
fact that.
eye? Hold on real
Yeah.
quick.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hold on, Tom. That eye for an eye and putting yourself in someone's situation so the same thing doesn't happen to you. Like live by the sword, die by the sword. I think it's the perfect thing to do is to think about when you giving sentences or initiate a punishment or whatever you decide to do. Thinking about it happening to you is the best way to create solutions and do conflict resolution as well too. To think
Sometimes
about
though,
what would
because
happen.
that's
So
not that that's
I
that
have a question.
that
I'm
that can
about
be
to land.
true.
I swear I'm about to land. I'm swear I'm about to land.
First,
Lord have mercy. If I want to shoot somebody, I got to think about if somebody, what if somebody can shoot me, depending on what
this
I'm
is why
doing.
women get half the time.
That
men
ain't how
get
you make
shot.
Don't you think
legislation,
about
though.
that before committing the crime?
Well, no, there's a
Here we
difference
go.
in what you're saying because, like, when it comes to legislation, it is
Yeah.
true that, like, you don't want to. If we're talking about somebody who had somebody who got shot by somebody, right? That you don't want that person coming up with legislation for
Right,
what, like,
exactly.
type
That's
of
not how you
punishment
make legislation.
should be given to this person. That's literally why we've made it to where you can't deal with it yourself anymore. We have the government, a third party, deal with it in a rational way for you because we don't want people who are emotional and know what this is like and want to go and like avenge justice on this person. Like we don't want that to happen. So the entire idea of the government doing crime and justice is the fact that we want an unemotional, rational third party dealing with it from the outside instead of from a first person
So
stance.
My question is, do you? So I hear this all the time, especially during election season, especially with us as melanated people. I hear this term all the time that we vote emotional and not rational or logical.
Yeah, but who's telling you that? It's the other fucking side.
Do y'all agree with that? That
Yeah.
a lot of people vote
No.
on emotions and not logic.
Yes.
People
I think
vote
most
She
people
said, as a
vote on-
black person, you getting told that from the other side. But I think if you're gonna just use it as a thing in general, I think a lot of people say people vote with emotion. Y'all definitely voted with y'all emotion for this last fucking one,
emotions.
and
see,
that's not just black people; it was people.
This is that's what he was talking about. People making political decisions on emotions and not logic.
Well, it makes sense. So, like, if there's something that affects your life
I was trying to get through a lot of stuff right now, Chris.
personally, you're gonna vote for those things that affects you personally.
This is why no one wants you on a
Like,
jury.
and that might not be the most like rational or logical thing for the whole country, but that's like how you're gonna vote. Like if you're like a sexual assault victim or something, and there's like a person running who's going really hard on like trying to find sex crimes and shit like that, like you might vote for that person because you've been through that shit and that's something that you really care about. That's probably what he's talking about.
Right, but
like,
if you're sorry, Ghost, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no, no, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So if somebody says, okay, well this candidate is particularly driving this political campaign towards like said example, right?
Mhm.
Whatever it is, and it drives you emotionally, you're like, yes, that person's gonna take care of this thing, and they're that's their whole campaign. But then every other policy and speaking point that this person speaks is like Yahtzee propaganda and something off the wall, but you're like, but they're going to take care of this one thing that bothers me
Yeah.
so much. That's why it fucks you up.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's necessarily the best thing. I'm just saying it makes sense why people do vote that way. But in my opinion, most people just vote on vibes. They don't even fucking care about legislation.
Yes.
They're just like,
Yes, yeah,
fucking
that's why I was like, they be trying to tell black people they vote for Democrats because of their emotions. I'm like, no, a lot of people vote on emotions for real.
memes and like, oh, like
It is
fucking
not just black folks.
statements and shit. And
Like,
Yeah, most people are politically fucking ignorant.
Ignorant, yeah, they
So-
just don't
so,
know.
yeah,
They
it's
just view
usually just
vibes.
along party lines, down ballot, whether it be Republican or Democratic or whatever, right?
I mean, Donald Trump's
I
the
think,
president right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Everything.
Most people don't know what the fuck they're talking
vibe.
about. They're voting based on
Exactly.
vibes,
Like Trump being president.
Well, I mean, if you voted Biden, then we could say the same thing. But I don't
no,
want to.
no. Oh, I wish
right?
Tom
He
could get
ain't
into
got to
this.
impeachment fixes.
I mean,
When
Yeah,
y'all
you don't
got
have
a
to
motion-
impeach
hold on,
the-
when y'all say
Oh,
motion is
God.
illogical, it's like y'all actually choosing not to be
Oh,
illogical.
I wish they could get
It's
into
like,
that.
hold on, oh,
So you can
get-
say Biden, we can say the same thing. Yeah, nigga, please. Ooh.
thinking how you vote for the
I want
candidate
Tom
that thinks
Hanks
like
to
you
nick him.
and cares about what you care about. So you're using emotions and you're using logic. Because if that's the truth, then he should be treated a certain way. If you have 2 impeachments and 36 convictions, and you get in president, go, you know what? We're not even addressing that right
What
now.
if you have dementia?
Yeah, come on, Ilkin.
We could
Ali.
look at that and say debatably.
If he
Come
was
on, Ali.
black and Mexican, if he was black and Mexican, y'all would want that to be. Y'all know y'all would want that to be addressed. If he was,
No.
if he wasn't a white
Why are you
American,
making it about race?
That's true, but he ain't lying.
we could just look at the presidential debate.
He
We
look
could
at the
look at the
debate.
presidential
All about
debate
race.
and
Thank
see
you.
what Trump said
Get
versus what
that
Biden
ass,
said,
bro.
even in his old fucking age. Biden was half dying, and he was literally talking about
Yeah, no, that's-
policy,
Policy.
legislation, blah blah blah. Meanwhile,
Joe
Trump
Biden
just
was on
talking-
his last leg, still able to be, even though he was slow as fuck, he still was when he spoke, you knew what he was trying to say. Meanwhile, Trump is up there just screaming random shit.
talking about cats and dogs and Haitians and fucking retarded like
Well, no.
bullshit. He didn't mention one policy
no.
the entire debate.
Mhm.
Biden did.
One second, friends. I just want to say something. Fantastic is
That's
next.
plenty.
And I'll say this: the sick part too is very telling. When Biden was
Yeah.
all dying and couldn't
Yeah.
talk and all
Crazy as
crazy,
hell, and they hit it.
everybody was like, "Oh,
You
look at
still
him."
understood him.
And then Donald Trump is doing exactly the same, and everybody like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
But
exactly.
said
There's a
everybody
lower
knew
bar of
that the-
expectation for Donald Trump because everybody knows he's fucking retarded.
Mr. Fantastic.
Democrats and Republicans, liberals could be like, man, he need to get up out of there. Like he can't
Let me-
talk.
Right.
Well,
We
I mean,
said
I can-
Joe
Yeah.
Biden looked bad, but y'all won't say that about Trump.
So first off, Bill Clinton was impeached, right? And I think people have a poor understanding
Not
of what
twice.
impeachment means. Impeachment means simply,
And it was also because he fucking cheated on his wife. People don't see that as an indictment on you being able to lead as president necessarily.
hey, the Congress brought some shit up against you and said, hey, we
Yeah,
should
I
look
wish
at
I
the
was
fuck
on
getting
this
you
panel,
removed from
too.
office. Okay, he was. Who gives a fuck if he was impeached?
Well, it's
twice,
a
okay?
charge, and then the Senate does the conviction.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Charge. Well, who cares? And Congress fucking votes on the shit. Who cares? Gives a fuck.
Okay,
It's
right?
not who
about,
cares.
What about the 34? The 34.
34
convictions? What about that?
So
Guilty,
the
all of it.
34
How about that?
convictions, the 34 convictions is
lawfare.
when it's purposely it's been well, they're still doing a report now that it's found that you literally weaponized the motherfucking
No,
highest level
no,
of fucking United States
no.
government against this man, and you found you convicted him of some bullshit, right? To
Says
the point where
you.
now you're even having to go
To
back.
be fair, I mean, it was the weakest charge to get him on, but that's because nobody wanted to look like they were being partisan about the conviction, about the trying to indict him.
on the shit, and they're literally
Merrick
doing it
Garland.
with the same DA that put charges against Trump
Right.
for the same thing is now under investigation because he found out to be doing the same shit.
Oh,
So then, be
God.
fair. Hold on. If we're gonna talk about it, let's just be fair. Let's not act like Trump was not targeted, and the whole purpose of
Trump committed crimes.
the
Wasn't.
convictions was for him not to be able to run, for him not to be able to be president.
If that's the
again.
case,
He
when
wouldn't
they
be president.
convicted him, why didn't they put him in jail then? They convicted him of 34
Yeah.
felonies. Why didn't they put him in jail?
Exactly.
because they couldn't put him in jail.
What?
Yes, they
He
could have. It held a sentence of over 20 years. They could have put him in jail.
They put him in jail.
And they went with the weakest case, which was just white collar crimes, when they could have been getting him on fucking racketeering. They went with the weakest one first, and they convicted him of it, and then didn't sentence him.
No. Can we hold on, Fatty?
Shut this dude is stupid. He doesn't have any idea what he's talking about.
This is what we say, y'all not connected. If we say the same corrupt regime that put Biden in office or Barack Obama in office and kept up Trump from winning, can we say the same thing when he wins and goes, hey, if they so corrupt, how did he win? It's so many contradictions. If it was corrupt and he didn't win, it is because they'll say it was corrupt. Just like when he lost, it's like, oh, it was rigged. So how isn't it rigged when he wins? That's all I'm saying. Y'all not consistent.
Exactly.
Go a second. Let's just Sarah say goodbye because she has to leave.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. She ain't provided nothing substantial in this conversation.
Sarah, you see, we behave well today.
No, you guys are awesome. This was a fun panel. Tom, I really do like you. I don't hate you, but you are a little bitch, though.
I still think you're a bitch, but I like you as well.
Tom, at least they don't tell you to go back to Africa. So
she couldn't contend with any of my points, so I'm happy with the way this went.
Exactly.
Hey Tom,
she never responded to Tom's arguments.
The racist tomato.
They would have called you something else in the 50s, Tom. They would have called you something else.
Tom, don't worry about it.
No, Tom's over here like
go back to Sweden.
Trying to defend himself from my chat, and it's like, get in your own chat.
Oh, I'm typing in everybody's chats. It's not just yours. I type in everybody's chats.
Now he just in chats.
My chat's the best fucking chat, and they fucking win every time. My chat has roasted all y'all's asses all night. It's been great. It's been swell. Fatty and Ali, thank you so kindly for having me again. I do enjoy coming over here. It makes for
Is Rick letting people up on his stream?
It's nice to finally be a panelist and not have to be running the clown show and being one of the clowns in.
I see why you host though, because you don't say shit.
Dead. It's been great. I love all of you. Thank you so kindly.
She doesn't have any arguments.
Now we have a new Pokemon. But like going back to the topic, Fantastic is you're right. Is for example the BDF file shit. When people thought Bill Clinton was on that shit, oh my god, I can't believe y'all. And then Donald Trump is included, and everybody like, do we really are against this? Is he really on the list? I think like this is what we're talking about.
Yo, what's good, Watts?
Rules for D, not for me. If I feel something about the person, I will ignore it. But if I don't
Chris,
feel
I don't
something
know
about
how
the
you,
person, I
don't know how to get on Fatty's panels
and say that that's probably the worst thing that happens. And I don't know if you have noticed. Everybody is like, okay, we already talked about Charlie Kirk. We already got the dude. Can we go back talking about the Epstein
files?
And there's a lot of people that unfortunately are in denial because their feelings, they invested so much emotionally to the dude that if the dude gets even close.
Wait, Chris, I just thought about it. I know you said your phone broke. You don't know your credentials to get back to your account, bro?
To being what they thought is going.
Or you can't recover it because you don't have your phone.
Going to fuck up their identity. Because that's what they are for whatever reason. So we're going to talk about it in future. Go ahead, Fantastic, and interrupt because I stopped you, and then we go from there.
No, yeah, I was just saying, man. Listen, all this stuff is here, man. And like I said, the political arguments will always just be a never-ending thing.
Because you don't know what you're talking about. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. So he probably finna try to get away from this politics convo.
At the end of the day, regardless of whatever the fuck happened, he's the president. Okay.
Look, see, he don't want to talk about it.
First and last. Well, this is the second time and last time. You don't get 3 times. You don't get 3 chances. All of the shit that people.
Shut the fuck up. He the president.
The world.
And the reason this even became a convo is because we were saying that people vote emotionally, meaning this is why Trump is a president.
And all this different shit. America is doing a lot better than what it was a year ago.
Tom, don't let it go. Don't let it go, Tom. Don't let it go, Ali.
The Doge shit cleared up a whole bunch of the wasteful spending and money laundering.
What money laundering?
He's pretty much staying true to and fulfilling all of the things that the policy y'all claim he didn't have. No tax on tips. Something that Biden didn't do, or what's his name didn't do.
Please.
No tax on overtime.
Please.
The tariff shit is working. No, y'all motherfuckers shut the fuck up about that.
Motherfucker is crazy.
Right? Tariffs are working.
How are they working?
What?
Calm
They're
down.
working? People shut up
How
about
are they
that?
working? They are
Where
higher
did
than
this
ever,
happen?
meaning the American people
Please.
are paying more
Hey,
than
Fatty,
ever.
Not paying more than ever in
We
what?
gotta be brainwashed, right?
Paying more than ever in what?
Oh,
Like, hold on, hold
no,
on.
no, no,
All of the
hold on.
prices going up
One
from
second.
this, and we're just
Let
ignoring
me
that?
answer. Let me answer.
This
Let me answer.
motherfucker is crazy.
Every time he comes out and announces, we got the biggest tariffs ever for the first time since all that means is the American people are paying the most they ever paid in tariff in history. It comes from your pocket. How is that winning?
First of all, which tariff deal are we even talking about?
How is that winning?
So again, if the prices of goods compared to before are lower, how's the
Why are you saying that and it's not
You're
true?
talking about overall, but
It
the
don't-
the
I'm-
things,
Yeah.
the actual
again.
items that
I'm
he
saying it again.
tariffed.
No, no, no.
Hold on, wait. You're talking about overall, but the actual items that he tariffed, they did go up. Like
Yes,
when it comes to
overall, that's all
clothing.
matters.
No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
please.
No, it
You already,
doesn't.
you already can
No.
No,
what
it doesn't.
The fuck?
Everybody made a huge deal
Overall,
about gas
yes.
prices and prices of eggs. They didn't make a big deal about overall. They were talking about very specific necessities that they needed. Clothing has gone up. Household items have gone up. The toys, food, auto parts, like all of these things have gone up on average for those specific sectors. And other things were already going down because Biden had just put into place a bunch of legislation to deal with the inflation from COVID.
Right.
Hey, Fatty, I got to run though too. So, can you hear
Who's
me?
that, Marte?
Yeah, I probably
ain't
have to be
provided
pretty
nothing
soon,
either.
too.
Since when you can run, Marte?
No. I have a sinus infection, so I wanted to get on and be a good sport, man. But I thank you guys for.
Oh,
letting
maybe
me-
that's why he ain't talk a
That-
lot.
that's why-
He don't feel
I was
good.
actually looking like, why is he so quiet today?
Yeah, he ain't feel good.
Stop being a victim. Don't take medicine.
Hey, Marte, pray
Stop
to
being
God.
a
Don't go get
victim.
medicine, man. Just
All right, I'll do that, man. Yeah.
I appreciate you. I see you later, man.
Later, Martin.
I see you later.
My bad. Y'all
Damn,
were right. It
Chris.
raised 3%. Overall goods raised by 3%. Right?
Yes.
3%.
So,
What-
Yeah, are you
Why are
saying
you
that's
saying-
not significant?
Right? Why are
Yeah,
you
I'm
saying
saying it's not significant at all.
three?
That's like
But,
the
I mean, wasn't the whole
totality of
problem
the
the
COVID
economy and
inflation.
prices?
That's under inflate. Yeah, there's literally like you have to compare with inflation.
But we talk about inflation. That's another thing. So inflation.
He has
is
no
lower
idea
than
what
it
he's
was
talking
before.
about.
No.
Right, why is he like- he
your
went-
overall income doesn't grow 3% and things are 3% more expensive, it's going to make a dent in your pocket.
Especially when you're going across the board of different things you're buying.
Absolutely.
If $3.
Yeah, they've been. It's kind of like an inside joke, Josh. They've been telling people to go back to different places.
breaks you, the economy wasn't your problem.
Sir, but
Oh
that's not
my
the point.
God.
If you have
He's
$1,000
so full of
no,
shit.
No. One second.
Where was this attitude like
Wait,
the
what?
entire last election when everybody's talking about
Right, what-
groceries and everything else?
Come on,
like,
Ghosty.
inflation was already on a downward spiral.
Yep. Where was this
People go to-
attitude when Joe Biden's inflation was there? It's just 3%. If that was a problem, then you already had another problem. But meanwhile, the highest inflation wasn't necessarily Joe Biden's fault. But when it's coming down, y'all was still like, everything's still too high.
For Trump because of prices, right?
The United
wasn't on a
States
downward
fixed
Yes,
the United
inflation
States fixed inflation before any other country in the world. The whole world dealt with
They don't give a fuck.
record-breaking inflation from
They don't give a
COVID,
fuck.
and the United States recovered before any other country. Yet everybody still acted
Because
like
you
we did a
printed the most
horrible job
money.
with it.
Inflation was on a downward downward
printed-
trend since Biden's.
Because you printed the most fucking money in the history of the United States of America.
And we
What the
still
fuck you
did
talking
better.
about?
That was
Obviously,
one of
he
the
said.
ways that they
then we still
fixed
did
it
better.
faster than
That's
everybody
not
else.
fixing it. So
That
it's
is
What
all-
the fuck do he think would have happened if motherfuckers didn't get stimulus? We would have been in another Great Depression. What is this? These people keep acting like we know how to deal with a global pandemic, as if that's just something that shit just happens and we can figure it out. It was the first time any of us in our lifetime had to deal with that, and they're pretending as if stimulus wasn't necessary during those times. And then because inflation kicked in, and if they didn't do anything, everybody would have been fucked.
It
Look
did
at the
fix it.
numbers.
Did they
Look at
fix
the
it?
numbers
Did
by
they fix
month.
it? Yes. Look at the
I-
numbers. Did they fix
y'all
it?
need help together, right? So just give me a second, and both of y'all can try and double team me. So I'm gonna say this, right? So when you print more money out of thin air, right, it's gonna
God, this
dig you
dude
out
is
of a hole.
stupid.
And if you really listen to economists, they'll tell you that the biggest issue and problem.
Why you ain't listen to economists when they said Trump's economy is going to fucking tank the economy and Kamala's will stimulate it? Why you didn't listen to economists then? No, shit. I hit mute.
Started way economists, they'll tell you that the biggest issue and problem, this isn't something that started with Biden. It started way back in what, Obama or Bush, right? 08. Because they never let the
another Republican that fucked up the economy. Yeah,
happen, and the shit crashed the way it should to reset everything. All you did now is motherfucking quantitative easing, print more money, print more money, print more money. So
Why?
we're gonna count that as fixing the problem. Trump can fix the problem tomorrow and print more fucking money. What
That's
about
not-
my
That's not what
God.
we're saying. Inflation went way up during COVID because there was a lot of money given to the people, right? All the fucking COVID payments, all the stimulus checks, blah, 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 all this money printing you're talking about.
This
Inflation
trash
went way
panda.
up during COVID. And then Biden came into office after, he came in 2020, right?
2021.
And then I think since like 2022, there's been a downward trend in inflation steadily all the way up until today. It's still like going down, but it started under Biden.
And it's on top of that, imports also have a big part of inflation. And if you lower the amount of imports that are coming in and lower our
Yes, he
purchasing
did,
power,
Chris.
that also adds. So if you're able to increase imports while printing a lot of money, this is a way of quantitative easing. But the imports are lowering because they're rising tariffs. So it's,
yeah, don't say shit.
Damn, everybody lost guess. I have a last question before we
Yeah, don't
close it
say
out.
shit.
And once again, thank you very much for everybody that
Because he don't have nothing to say.
the show.
The fact that the man just literally didn't respond is crazy.
Finally, the host, I'm the guest. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Last question, and then we wrap it up. Are men still expected to be protectors, or is that
Oh,
announced
no.
date?
Don't give a fuck.
You gotta answer this question.
Tom, you running?
I hit live.
So 4 hours. What is the question? What was the
Yeah,
question?
he been on for us.
It's like FMK,
Nah, PTJ, yeah, I want to get on one of Fatty's panels too.
except only K's.
I don't want to. I don't care about.
There's only 3 seats. These 3 women are on the seats, and you have
I
the
don't-
chance to take one of them.
I don't care
save your-
about the men and women debate. So, man, it's so much going on, y'all.
Shouldn't meet them where they are or whatever.
But I guess where I would disagree.
They
then,
talking about de-escalating political violence on Wick.
no, is, and it's a meme at this point, but it's whether we're taken literally or seriously. And when I see these calls to war, calls to it's time to fight, and I just don't see the resulting outcome you would expect to see. Versus, and then I see the figures, at least that I look up to and that I follow, are the ones that are saying we need to tone it down. Everyone needs to get together. It's about mutual de-escalation. And then to get hit back with, well, it's all a problem on the right. When the very first question I asked and that I was curious about is when we get unhinged, insane lefties that do stuff, the whole debate we were just having a month ago was whether or not the liberals, the mainstream left, needs to jettison the far left. And now when far left folks act out, as folks on the far right act out, it's a extremism is a problem for both sides.
Flintstones.
But now it's like,
Right, but
Well,
they expect
now-
us to disavow for both, right? Like they don't draw that distinction at all, and we kind of get fucked for it. Like even in kind of very like milquetoast liberal circles. So I mean, I just feel like I don't know where you go for this. It feels like a lot of people, like I understand if you follow people who are, the rational ones or whatever. But I mean, if the president is not, and the people in power are not, and the people who are controlling the media are not, then it seems like we're in a situation where people want the Dems to be this release valve.
have a
who will
gun,
just like take it and take
Katya?
it forever.
Do you have
Yes.
a gun?
Yes.
Yes. Get more if that's your stance. Get more, and I want
Well,
to
I'm
see
pro
you
Second Amendment.
first
Come
in
on.
the stack.
What, am I
First
not
in the
allowed?
stack, okay?
Oh my god.
Not Mona
First in
Lisa.
the
Chill,
stack.
Yeah, well,
bro.
I mean, at least I'm not saying that, basically Democrats have to forever kind of make sure that they're this fail-safe for the rhetoric, because this
What
is
we
where
have
like
to
this
do
leads.
ensure that we never go to a civil war. I think that's a very ice cold take.
Wait, so was it
Right,
the
but
North's fault?
then-
Wait, could the North have de-escalated? Did the North fuck up? Say the North is equally culpable for the Civil War as the South, Wick.
Yep.
I don't think that they're
Yep.
equally culpable.
How
as
did
the
they fail
Civil
then?
War.
How did they fail? Why didn't they use their
I
words?
do think
Yep.
that the Civil War could have been avoided. Yes.
Oh yeah, how?
I'm not sure. I'm not a historical
Somebody was a
scholar, but I'm
fucking
sure that there's
aggressor.
Something that could have been done that was not done.
Damn, this not
that
even
could have
live. I didn't
happened.
even hit the
Oh
live part.
fuck me, my
They
bad.
say that
Okay,
we're
well.
not
Saved
in
it.
slavery instead of the Emancipation Proclamation. Yeah.
Right.
But
It's
regardless,
just like this. There's going to be something, but people, I guess we only have concepts of a plan on how this de-escalation would look like. But if
Concepts
like
of a
what,
plan.
they're not going to de-escalate. They're just going to say, "Oh, the left did it forever,
Who is this
forever,"
at the top
until
of the
I mean,
middle?
like people are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
when's the shooting going to
they're
start?"
going
on
to
the
lose
streets?
the
But
election if
it's
they do it and we don't. But if we both do it, they'll win the election. That's the difference.
Good.
Yeah,
That's,
but
well,
then,
that's
I
where we
mean-
should
That's the
go. Then
difference.
that's where we
That's
should
what's
go.
gonna
That's
happen.
our
I'm predicting
country.
the future.
That's
I
our
feel like
country.
I'm
Good.
Cassandra
Yes,
and
I'm
Mitch,
ready. I want
okay?
to be MAGA. It's so much easier. We can get the hats and everything. I'm fucking
You
ready.
won't win.
No, I will
Okay,
win because I'll
great.
just become MAGA, and then I'll get along with my parents better, and apparently my son too. So
If
we'll
it's
all
an
be
unfair
great.
election-
It'll be amazing. I'm the odd one out. Okay, let's go, neo-Nazis. I can vote for Fuentes in the next election. Hell yeah.
If it's an unfair election, then how
Oh,
the fuck are we
God.
going to get to that point? Because, like, I mean, that's a big chance if we
Oh,
keep
shit.
escalating
If they are
legally.
if they
That
are
nigga
messing with
funny.
the votes and closing polling places, my position changes. But we aren't there yet.
They already
Okay.
tried
Well,
to
they are
rig an
trying
actual
to- they are
election.
doing that,
Wick,
to be
they
clear.
literally tried to actually rig the fucking election. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
January 6th,
They're trying to
they tried, but they
gerrymander
failed
January
miserably.
6th.
And they didn't try
Oh.
to rig the election. They tried
For him to
to
say they failed miserably, Wick, like they still they have more power now. Who
overthrow
knows?
the election, which
He
is
has
a
more fucking cronies.
different thing. No
Hold
one
on.
was stopped
Just to
from
be
voting.
clear, Wick has literally the Ben Shapiro talking points implanted in his brain. The guardrails
yeah, the
held. That's what he
guardrails
just gave you.
held,
This
yep.
is insane to me. I feel like I'm crazy.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Am I incorrect?
No, you're right. The guardrails
yeah.
held.
They
You're
did,
right.
but now he has way more sycophants around him.
You're 100%
But,
correct.
like,
Yeah,
what's going to
therefore we
happen
don't
next?
have
JD Vance said he would have done what Mike Pence didn't.
meet them where they are and try to steal the election. Right?
Correct.
So
we don't
wait,
have to
wait,
replace
just
the
out of
guardrails
curiosity.
until we've already crashed through them and hurled off the fucking cliff.
No.
Right,
Wait,
not
no,
repla-
but listen,
hold on.
listen.
By replacing the guardrails, I mean disavow political assassinations. That's what I mean. Disavow
Wick,
political
no.
assassination. I think it's an ice cold take to take.
That's
That's not
Wick.
just what this is about. But the problem is that when we get to this point, I feel like you and people who have this opinion are basically, the
Of
last
disavowing political
helicopter out of
assassination?
Vietnam is going to be leaving, and you're going to be looking up at it like, damn, I should have been in there. Like, at that point, what do you do?
Hold on. If you are not disavowing political assassinations, you understand that you're feeding the narrative of the right. You are helping them win elections.
Right, but that's not just what this is about. Like, we're not avowing it, and we're saying that we're gonna, meet them where they are with rhetoric. Like, we're gonna say as much as they are, but apparently, I guess that's.
Wait,
I'm sorry, hold on. Your first point was Premier Kanye. No, shut the fuck up. Your contention is retarded. You're absolutely right. What's happening is a group of people are showing up to dinner without putting on deodorant, and you're saying you guys are kind of stinky. Nobody's gonna want to eat with you if you guys don't put deodorant on before coming. Meanwhile, the other half of the table shits themselves and wears the same pair of fucking dookie-filled diapers for 2 days, and then shows up with their shit-filled things, going, "Yeah, I don't know why you guys just won't put on some fucking deodorant. The BO is kind of bad." And you're like telling us that somehow it's like on us to be better than that. That's insane to me.
No.
I would rather just shit
Jesse.
myself and join the fun side.
Jesse,
I
okay,
didn't
when
know,
Donald
wait, I
Trump
didn't
said,
know
Proud
that was where he was gonna go with that analogy.
Boys, stand back, stand by. Like, this is pretty much an endorsement of terrorism. Do you think we should meet him there and that we should actually
fuck
say
up. I'm not
those
gonna
things?
fed post with you. I'm
No.
not fed posting with you.
No,
This is
I'm
the
not,
story
I'm
of
not
fucking- I already
telling you
said
to
what
say
you said.
that. I'm saying we shouldn't do that. And what I was trying to get you to say was, obviously, when you say, hey, we refuse to condemn this violence.
I don't need you to get me to say. Why are you repeating what I already said to say? That's what I would
Because I
say.
think
Just
you
tell
don't
people we don't
understand my
disavow.
understanding of it.
We just don't disavow anything until Trump does. Make him disavow first. I don't say you have to
Right,
support
because-
anything. I didn't say you have to be like, oh yeah, go kill
Right.
everybody. I didn't say that. I've never said that.
But
But
that's
you
what
don't like
the
that
right's doing,
answer.
right? So we're not meeting them where they are, right?
Okay, if you want to say that, then sure. But I said what I said.
Okay, that's all I'm
Nah,
saying.
Destiny ain't want to back down on that one.
If you're saying it's a prisoner's dilemma, we have to match them exactly. No, because they're fucking insane. They're endorsing terrorists. They're saying, stand back and stand by. And if
For
you're
now, sure, but
acknowledging
at some
we should
point
not
you
do
might
that,
have to, right? Do you
I
acknowledge that?
agree.
Okay.
Yes, and we don't have to do that now, right?
Sure, but what is the point for you? Because you're not going to know it until it's way too fucking late if you wait on this type of attitude. Well, we can win in the next election or whatever.
If you're completely black-pilled electorally, I understand. That's probably my line too. I don't think we're there yet. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Katya, anything else before we cycle through?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Soy Pill, like, what's your opinion on, for example, I mean, like earlier today on the Fox and Friends interview, where Donald Trump said, when they were asking him to disavow like the violence or say that we shouldn't be
Hot as
asking for
shit,
war, be
bro.
like, oh, they were gonna get revenge in the ballot box,
see
but
what
the
you're gonna
election's
say.
rigged, but the voting by mail and Jimmy Carter and blah, blah, all that.
Yo, shout out to Chris for the $5 super chat. Charlie said that the issue with black violence is a lack of fathers in the home. Okay, by his logic, his wife better remarry or send kids to adoption. Shit, that's true as fuck.
Stuff
That's
like,
true as
what do you say at
fuck.
that point? Because they're not.
By his logic, yeah. Now there's no father in the home, and you got a 1-year-old. He got a 1-year-old. He just said a lot of shit that he just know he won't condone.
Willing to
in
de-escalate.
practice.
They're saying
No,
that
yeah.
voting isn't going to work. What now?
Yeah, just to be clear on my position, I am a progressive. I think Donald Trump is an existential threat to this country. I think he's like accumulating power in ways that could potentially completely fuck our country for the rest of forever. We're already probably at points where there is irreparable damage, but that does not mean that I think we need to be exactly as bad as them. And it seems like we actually agree on that, which is fine. But that doesn't mean that anything that he has done is good. It's fucking insane. Just to be clear,
We're
Like,
not. Hold on. Why do you keep saying we're as bad as them?
Yeah,
What is
that's
the bad
not
thing?
at that point.
I'm not saying we're as bad as them.
No. Even if we were
When
to go
you
full
say-
violence, do you think that fighting for a liberal constitutional democratic government is the same thing as fighting against it? When we had the insurrection against the British, were both sides equally bad? In the Civil War, were
No.
both sides? Then stop doing this false equivalence, saying that we will be just as
The
bad as
difference
them and
is,
we blah
if
blah
we're
blah blah.
in that moment, I'm not saying, oh, we're so bad. Oh, how can we live with ourselves? Look in the mirror, libs. I'm saying, unless we're in that moment, we don't need to escalate that far, and it's going to hurt what it would otherwise be the electoral.
I get what Soy Peel is saying, but it is kind of like, I feel like because of how fucking much on the back foot we are, when it happens, it'll be too late. Like when you ready to fight, it'll be too late.
Possibility of us winning right now, but that doesn't mean we have to de-escalate rhetoric. That doesn't mean we don't have to fight back. It just means we don't have to be as
I like
bad.
Soy
When
Peel,
interpreted
too. I like
what
him
you
a
said
lot.
was, we have to be as bad as them as rhetoric. We have to meet them on the rhetoric.
I like
It
Soy
seems like
Peel
you
a
don't
lot.
necessarily have what my misconstrued idea of what you were saying was, which is, yeah, no, we don't have to say we endorse terrorism, but we do have to, escalate it. We have to be a little bit like in between what the fucking maximum bullshit that Trump and Matt Walsh and all these insane people are doing. Okay, cool. As long as you're saying we don't have to meet them exactly there, then I think that's not nearly so insane as I thought you were being.
Okay.
I mean, especially not with actions, but yeah, I feel like it's different to distinguish those, I guess.
Thank
All
you
right.
for calling in.
All right, nice talking to you guys.
Quick, just an
Adios.
administrative thing. I know there's a long line anyway backstage. We probably won't. There's no way we're gonna get there.
Structure of academia, which then spills over into Hollywood and spills over
All
into
of them grew up
entertainment.
to be professors. Every single college was just
No,
we
of
have like
course not,
20
of course
million.
not all of them.
Okay, hold on.
But this
I'm
created
finna
it created
I'm
it
finna
created a
refill my
culture
drink, y'all.
where these people then became. They started occupying these cultural spaces and completely
You're making the
reshaped.
Antonio Gramsci argument, right?
Gen Z,
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
clear, I'm not
largely.
saying they're going to
Yeah.
grow out of
okay.
this opinion. I'm saying they're correct for having it. They're actually very astute for saying, yeah, if someone is able to post my name and address, this is demonstrably going to put me in harm's way, and I might have to use violence to keep them off if the fucking college isn't going to protect me. I think that's a perfectly acceptable.
But back to Wick's point, I think we're still waiting on an example of that happening.
Okay, do you want me to, if you just
Gen
Google
Z.
Milo Yiannopoulos, UC Berkeley, you will find. Okay, first of all, no, I'm not even going to concede. Let's say no one got hurt. If you're publicly posting addresses,
on,
and this is
you
the same.
said that people got hurt.
Shut up, Wick. Let me finish. If you're publicly posting people's addresses to dox them, and no one gets hurt because no one decides to go and hurt them, but it's just like, oh, thank God that no one in the coin flip decided to go fucking hurt these people, but their public addresses were posted with the intention of people going after them. You don't think that's a valid reason to say, hey, well, good thing you didn't swat me. Good thing you didn't come and fucking kill me in my house, but I'm just going to let you do it again?
None of us think that conservative commentators should be going onto college campuses and doxing students. That is
Okay.
obviously
Do you think
beyond
you should
the
be able to use violence to stop them from doing it? Do you think you should be able to use violence to stop them from doing it?
Your
Wick probably
claim
got a
was that
backed
people
up
got
room.
hurt because they did it.
Yeah,
and I just
and
wanna
now I'm
know
making
who got hurt.
now I'm making before I even look it up, I'm making it even more conservative.
Oh
than
my
that.
God, Wick got like fucking 20 people in his back room waiting to get on here in the backstage. Shit.
I think is more defensible is I think you should be able to use violence to stop someone from doxing you 100,000%, because I'm not going to put my
You can't
potential
know if
harm on
someone
the
is going to
line.
dox you. So if you're one
If
example
they
of
already did
Milo
it, Tally,
Yiannopoulos,
they did it. We know he did it.
but
But-
is your example Milo Yiannopoulos? Then fine.
Yes.
Milo Yiannopoulos
And
is a crazy
Supreme-
person, and don't
So,
invite
okay,
him
and
to
then if you
college
pull a
campuses
college
because he
student and
has
say,
a history
hey,
of doing
do you know who
this.
this
Okay,
is?
what
about
should you
all
be
the
able
rest
to
of
do if you
conservative
think? Hold on.
speakers?
If you think someone is going to dox you, Soy Pill, you think that someone's
Yeah,
going
now
to
you fed
release your
boy, Soy Pill.
information,
Get fucked.
what
Fed
should
post.
you be able to do to them?
What should you be able to do to their
They're
body?
Going, if they're going to
Fed
post my name,
boy?
like, I'm about to do this. They've got their finger on the button, right?
Yeah. What should you be able to do to them?
At the very least, you ever see Starship Troopers where he throws the knife and he sticks
Throw
his
the
hand
knife
against the
and gets
wall and
the-
he says,
You
"Yeah,
think
the
you should
enemy,
be able
the
to
enemy
stab them in
cannot,
the hand.
yeah, the enemy cannot press the
Stop
nuke if
them.
they can't press the
Y'all
button.
let him make sure I hit
100%
that
you should
like.
be able to stab their hand and
Jesus
not let them press the
Christ.
fucking spacebar
In a
button,
video
okay?
game.
No, not in a video game, in real life.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh,
You can
Jesus
have that.
Christ! They're posting your address to a bunch of people who have a demonstrable history of hurting people.
Why
Is
are
that
you
not
more? Wait,
fucking-
how old are you, Soy Pill? Why do you have a more radical position
29.
on random people going to schools to dox people than the president of the United States calling for fucking civil war? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're telling me you can use
this isn't more
preemptive
radical.
violence against Michael Knowles going to do some fucking random
think
event
you
in a
could use-
college,
you
but
could
you
use
can't do anything about the
preemptive-
president of the United States?
Okay.
Okay, and you snuck in there that they have a
No.
history of hurting people, and you can't give
Yeah.
me one person they hurt.
Milo, Indianapolis has a history of these doxing people or getting the harassment. Now, if I show you the hurting thing, now are you going to agree that we can stab them in the hand to stop them from doxing?
Oh my god.
Show me the.
No. Say yes or no. If I show you that Milo, Indianapolis doxed someone and they got hurt, you would agree that it's okay to stab Milo
Careful, Wick.
or
You know he's
anyone
already
who's
got a
going
tweet
to-
loaded up. Don't let him trick you with this.
Would you be
I don't
okay with
think.
this?
I was gonna say
Let's
if
see what
Soy
you got.
Pill, you can't call Soy Pill on his bluff.
Answer the question, Wick. It's a hypothetical.
Make it a conditional that you can
Wanna see
change
what
what it means afterwards. So say
I don't
like, only
think
if I
Soy
think
Pill be bluffing.
it's a serious threat or something, or only if I think it was caused by that, so that he can link you something and you say, well, I don't think that was caused by that. You can't draw a direct link. Go.
Well, no. I'll just give you if you can give me someone that got hurt, and by hurt I
finna
mean
put-
physically, not their fifis. Okay, not fired from their job,
Okay, what
but
about
physically
swatting?
beat up.
What about swatting where the potential of you dying is there?
Did they get hurt?
Can you answer the question? Do you understand that
No.
swatting has the potential
I'm
of you
being
dying?
very clear.
Would you
it
consider
does.
swatting a death threat potentially if
Swatting
because there's
can get you
always the
killed.
chance that they're going to fucking shoot you? Especially, I think you own weapons, don't you, Wick?
I own one weapon. And
Mhm.
well, actually, I own three. Okay, I got these guns here,
That's
right?
right.
But other
God.
than that, right?
So just to be, so you
Right.
think
So
doxing
just
should
to be
be
clear,
a-
so then it would be okay to stab
But
someone
you
in the
understand
hand
that
right
swatting
before they're
is
about to press
different.
post.
Swatting
but
is
you-
different than someone going out and getting actually physically hurt.
Yeah, that's
Swatting
true.
has
But
the
swatting
potential
is
to
I
hurt
would
fucking
them.
consider
dangerous.
I would
swatting
agree with
bro.
that.
potentially
increases-
Swatting is almost a way to like get somebody hurt without you directly doing it or having any culpability in the matter.
chance that they get physically hurt, I'll agree with that. But can you
It's
give me a
supposed to
chance
work,
where they
right?
got
Okay, so it's
actually
worse.
physically hurt?
The Supreme Court's already ruled on this in Brandenburg with the incitement test. There has to be specificity and imminence. Just posting someone's information, I agree, horrible thing to do, completely immoral, but not illegal. I mean, it sounds like you're saying you're being
didn't say it
consistent,
was
saying
illegal.
it sounds like you're saying it should be illegal if you're going so far as to say
Depending-
you should.
Well, it
be
is in
allowed to
some
use-
states,
context.
isn't it? Isn't it
Yeah,
illegal in
and
some
if you-
states?
Well, I don't know on all 50 states. I mean, each state has their own criminal law.
He
so
said some. He didn't say
can
you
look it
have to
up,
know
but-
all 50.
Okay,
As
but
far-
are you saying, just like let's remove legality, are you saying if someone posts addresses and they have a history of people whose addresses they're posted get hurt because they have an audience of people who might be more inclined to do that, it's just totally fine if they keep doing it because they're not the ones hurting them?
I mean, I know you said take the law out of it. Unfortunately for you, I'm not going to do that.
Do you have morals or is that not?
I do.
I mean, I know you
do.
don't, but like.
Okay, just to be
Right.
clear to the retards, the sub IQ motherfuckers in my chat that are saying I think swatting is okay, absolutely not. I think that
Why
there are
not?
plenty of things that are not okay, even though they don't give physically harm. But Soy Pill made a very specific claim, and he loitered his argument
Wait,
on
why don't
this
you
claim.
think swatting's
And
okay,
Milo
Wick?
Yiannopoulos
Wait,
had gotten
wait.
people physically hurt.
Wick, why do you think swatting's not okay?
Okay, swatting's not okay because it increases the chances.
Attempt
of
murder.
harm.
Do you think it's almost akin to attempted murder, or at least like halfway there, even?
Really bad, yes.
Okay, if you post someone's address and you know there's a very good chance they'll get swatted, would you say that
Okay,
maybe you're an accessory to
sure,
said
can
thing?
you draw a direct line between this person's
Okay, sorry.
Milo
Maybe, well,
Yiannopoulos?
let me ask an easier question. Do you think Milo Yiannopoulos is so retarded he doesn't think that his audience goes after people when he posts their address?
I think Milo Yiannopoulos
Why do you
is
think he
very
posts their address, actually? What do you think
Okay, to
he does
intimidate.
when he does
An
that?
intimidation tactic.
Why would it intimidate them if they're not going to go
Because
after
it
them? There's no
increases
violence.
the chance that someone is going to use their address and cause them harm.
Okay, do you think you should be able to use any sort of physical
No, I don't think
altercation
doxing
to
is
stop
okay.
them from
Frankly,
No,
Yeah,
but you
we've
made a
been over
specific
that.
claim that you're
to stop
weaseling
someone
out
from
of.
doxing you. I'm not weaseling. I'm going to show you, but I'm waiting
Okay,
for you to.
show
Because
me.
it seems well, no, because it seems like even in the hypothetical of yes, this person might cause imminent death to you by swatting you, and he knows that his audience will do this. Well, I don't think you should use violence to stop him from causing people to go to your house or swat you or any of this stuff because I mean we don't know if it's going to happen, and he doesn't know for sure. He's just posting it because he wants to
Yeah.
scare them, right?
You
Like,
said
is
that-
it not okay?
You said that Milo Yiannopoulos went
Yeah.
onto
Are you-
campuses,
don't ignore everything I
doxed
just said,
people,
please.
and got them hurt. Show me where that happened. That's all I'm asking.
I'm going to do that, but
Okay,
I'm
just do
asking
that.
you. But it doesn't matter if when I show you, you're not going to hold to the principle that I'm
I
establishing
will hold
right
to the
now.
principle if
You
they
don't
got
haven't
hurt.
said your principle. You said it doesn't. If they do that, yeah.
I'm
it might
asking
be
you.
look at
death
it,
It's
threat.
just yes or no.
Wait.
It's a binary
No.
thing. Did it
Because
happen
why
or did
do
it
I show you
not?
the evidence if you won't even concede in the hypothetical?
I'm conceding if they got hurt, I will concede the argument.
The
Show me where they
argument
got
that
hurt.
It's okay to commit violence against someone,
You know,
they're doxing you or attempting to dox you.
Oh, it's okay. It depends on we need more context. Dox you
Okay,
how?
the context is
Dox
there's
you
a
by
history.
releasing your face if you were a VTuber? That's
No,
doxing.
here's their full
Releasing
name
your
and
home
address.
address?
And here's their full name and address. Yeah,
Sure.
you should be
Yes,
able to
I
commit
think you
violence
can. I
against
think
someone
you
for
could do
doxing you.
some form of violence. I don't think you could kill them,
I
right?
mean,
But
his
think you
last
can-
thumbnail, I don't
throw
see
a knife
nothing
into their hand to
crazy,
stop them
Chris.
from posting it.
Sure, doing something violent towards them would be
Okay.
justified, at least morally.
Thank you
I
for
can't
joining
speak
the
legally.
30% wick. Now I'll go find you the evidence. You guys can hash it out.
You don't even have. Okay, you don't even know this happened. God damn it. Okay, but I just want to be clear that this happens a lot of times. Well, they make claims. They'll come in, make claims, load those claims. Well, this happened. They got hurt. There was an untold number that were harmed by what this person was doing on campus, and therefore we need to shut them down. But when I asked, can you give me one example? We get no.
To be clear, the issue is that initially it was presented as a huge problem that 70% of college kids said it's okay to shout down people, or 30% said it's okay to use violence to stop
30%.
people. That no, the
37%
first
or
it was
something.
70% to shout down people. It was like 37% for violence. But without seeing the phrasing of that question, it was kind of dumb. Like everybody would probably agree with that, depending upon what kind of speakers we're talking about shouting down, right? Or using violence to prevent from going on a campus, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could look at the phrasing of the question, but I would just say to go off what you just
I
said.
mean, his
Wade, as
last
far as kind of made that point, and then if you, so you
fourth.
identify, can you give me an example, and then we get into the back and forth, and then it's, oh well, if you just get rid of the law, if you just look at it morally, well, unfortunately, the law we're dealing with here is
Yeah, this thumbnail is kind of crazy. That thumbnail is crazy as fuck.
First Amendment, and
he has Van Jones on there, and next to Van Jones it says "I can't breathe." Charlie Kirk had a thumbnail with Van Jones saying "I can't breathe" like he's George Floyd. It's like,
specifically the incitement standard under Brandenburg, which, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know the facts of Brandenburg, it was a KKK leader who was specifically, I believe, specifically calling out people by name as being horrible, horrendous threats to the community. And then some of the followers he whipped up the mob. Some of the followers went out and did something horrible, TOS, I won't say. But he was found not guilty under the specificity requirement, that he did not directly incite them to go actually do what they ended up doing. Same reason why Trump was not charged with incitement under the January 6th stuff, because it wasn't the direct call to action and the specificity and the imminence. So just, I don't want to get back to January 6th, but when we're talking about incitement, specific legal
Just to be
standards
clear,
here,
he just wasn't charged with it. That doesn't mean that he wouldn't have met or exceeded the threshold for Brandenburg.
I think it would have been a lot better evidence if he was charged with it.
Absolutely not. The idea that you want the
Well,
Supreme
granted,
Court,
too, innocent
the
until proven
idea that
guilty as
you
well.
want, it has nothing to do with innocence before proven guilty. It's the idea that you would want to test the Brandenburg standard with regards to speech from the President of the United States.
Oh, yeah, dude
that would be an
wasn't even
incredibly
talking.
scary thing to try. And if you fuck that up, you're going to be remembered in history as the worst fucking Solicitor General or whoever is going to go and argue that case. That's an incredibly, people are very strategic about what cases they bring to the Supreme Court. They're very careful about the ones that they choose that they want to succeed on the merits on, right? There's a reason why there weren't any partially monetarily, but partially because they were worried about the
Noah, on all of what exactly? You was here yesterday, right, Noah?
I think the SEC or whatever, there's a reason why companies didn't want to fight their First Amendment right to ban Trump or whatever in front of the Supreme Court as well, because who the fuck knows how they would have ruled on that. Like, you're strategic about the cases that you bring. And I don't know if you want to test Brandenburg in front of a conservative court with the President of the United States on the line. That could have far-reaching implications for a variety of different reasons.
Actually, I agree with that. You do have to be strategic about the cases you bring.
Yeah.
Because you just as much as you might set good precedent, you might set terrible precedent. So yeah.
Okay,
look at that.
last caller.
Oh, he got a fucking Destiny banner at the top of his shit.
What's your name, Sean Solo? What do you got for
Sean
us?
Solo.
Look at that awesome game room. That's great.
Thank you. Appreciate it. A lot of people call it GameStop. One thing I want to bring up is, like, no one's really seemed to have mentioned the facts, like from FBI data, from DHS data, from the ADL, etc., from independent colleges. 100% of extremist-related murders were committed by right-wing extremists.
There's a waste of time. People on the right don't believe in stats. It's not. I agree
know they
with you.
don't, but we got to say it.
Oh, okay.
We got to keep saying it. You got to keep asking
Hold on,
Grok.
Noah,
When
I
you see
got
these
you.
people on Twitter, ask Grok who committed the most terrorism in these years. It's going to tell
Don't
you
ask
80
Grok,
to
give them the
100%
stats, okay,
right
just don't.
wingers. Give them whatever way you want to
It's
do
funny
it,
when Grok
whatever
says it,
they
actually.
like to hear.
It's funny when Grok says, okay, Noah, so pretty much I don't think political violence is acceptable. I just put up a video on that, addressing Charlie Kirk, actually. It was fucking terrible. I don't think that should have happened to Charlie whatsoever. It doesn't change how I feel about him, who he was, But it shouldn't have happened whatsoever. Like I said, I got a 3-minute video up I just posted today that basically explains how I feel about that whole situation. It's fucked up that his family had to deal with and see that for sure.
Give it to them. Give them these numbers.
That's a short version.
It's
Okay,
all
so-
right wingers.
So I guess
And
I'll
not
just
to
ask-
mention, for years, we've had Tucker Carlson, we've had Jesse Waters on Fox, we've had Newsmax, OAN screaming about we're going to war. We're going to do this. The Democrats are demons. Liberals are evil. And then you've got MSNBC and CNN firing people over empty nothing burgers that were just stating the basic obvious truth. What are we fucking talking about here, people?
Well, we're talking about people who won't disavow, right?
That man
the violence
got too much movement
that's
on
being
his damn
committed.
camera.
I agree with you that the right is worse. I agree with you that the left is going too far firing these people. I don't think they should be fired. I
To
don't
be
think
clear,
what they
real
did was
quick,
that
Wick,
bad.
the problem
Yeah,
we're
that's
talking about
fucked
doesn't
up.
even
Dude got fired. I don't even think he said nothing too crazy.
exist, right? Like every big figure on the left will disavow the violence. So you're talking about a hypothetical problem that doesn't even
You're
exist.
not disavowing the violence.
I literally said a million times political violence and murder shouldn't happen in this country. Nobody should do it.
did
It's
not
not good
say
on
he
either
did.
side.
Why
I
is
said
he
that a million
saying
times.
that?
No right winger whose larger media will say that statement. Do you acknowledge that?
They won't.
Hold on. You don't think I can find a right winger?
Well, no, hold on. They
Large
will
right
say that same,
winger
Hold
who-
on, Destiny. Actually, they'll say a very similar thing to you, which is yes, it's horrible and it shouldn't be happening, but it looks like we're at a civil war and we're not going to be the ones to leave ourselves
But,
defenseless.
yeah.
They make a
Wrong. Wrong. That's not what they say. What they say is all of it is on the left.
Not all of them, but the people that you're talking about.
Everything
boosted
I've
everything.
seen.
No
Go to
examples
Twitter right
of
now and
right-wingers
refresh, and every single thing you see, it's going to say
I don't even know if
right-wingers.
Richard Hanania identifies himself on the right. He's condemning that shit, but I don't know if Richard Hanania considers himself on the right anymore. I don't know. He's so anti-Trump. I don't know where he is, though.
It's going to say left wingers are responsible for everything. All the terrorism, all the hatred is coming from the left.
The
That's what
president
they're
and the
saying
vice
right
president of the United States said that the Minnesota assassin
is
was
obviously
hired by
untrue.
Waltz. That was hired by Waltz. Yeah, but
Duh.
that's a lie that's propagated by the administration.
Yeah, that's very bad.
I
That's
just
very
don't
bad.
think we need to refuse to turn down the temperature or de-escalate until they do. I think that we can still fight them and not
This motherfucker's been doing that for 10 years. That's the problem.
de-escalate. Is there anything else you had for us, caller, sir?
I think that about sums it up for me. Thanks,
Okay.
Sean Solo Yo on Twitter.
Oh, he
Thank you
wasn't first,
for
but he got
calling in.
pulled up.
Okay, gang.
I think
So,
he
Bill,
done.
have you found your example yet?
What happened to Tally's fucking...
Believe it or
Amazing
not,
camera.
the people who were doxxed don't want their names out there, so it's hard to find what happened to them.
Okay, well, you can DM it to me later, and
Cop
then
out.
we can have another stream at some other point. About
To be
this.
clear, it's still, like I said,
Right, Noah.
doxing
I
in and of
agree. I
itself
can't
is a
think of
threat
anybody.
insofar
I can't think of anybody.
as you're posting it to a rabid mob who's going to harass you, which is
And of
just-
course, we're talking about notable people, not randoms on the internet, because we obviously randoms could be extreme on any end. But the people of note, I can't think of anybody on the right that just straight up condemned their side.
I know you think that's true.
Or
regardless of
both.
whether or not it's the
Like you said,
campus
it's just the
speaker.
left.
And if you agree that if there is something that could happen, such as swatting or violence because of this, it's not unreasonable for a college student to say, yeah, I think it might be okay to use some sort of violence, depending on how they ask the question, to stop them from releasing your
Because-
public address, right?
And the reason
Preemptive violence, if you don't know, if you're just assuming that someone might come out here with the docs, that is obviously bad.
Okay, what about
Preemptive
people
violence
that
against
have doxed
conservative
already?
speakers because one
What
of
if
them might
one's-
dox someone
No, that already doxed.
So once you've
while
been
they were like
doxxed,
speaking
then you
on
can
college
beat them up?
campuses.
No, as in they posted their faces and names online preemptively before they even got to the campus, which is what Milo did at Berkeley.
We're all condemning Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh.
I mean, no one here is.
So would you say that
The
it
big
would be
problem with
okay
Milo
to
is Milo
stop
boarded
him?
the child rape train like 10 years too early. He fucked up on that one really hard.
Okay. Anything else from anyone else, or are we good?
I'm not
I
good.
guess to
I let the
maybe-
record show I am not good. I think these two people are unfucking hinged. and we're supposed to treat it like it's normal. I think it's crazy.
What two people?
You don't have to treat them as it's normal.
We're treating it
but
like it's
what you
normal
were
right
doing on
now.
the
We're treating
show-
both these people like they're rational, functional human beings. These people are fucking crazy.
Wait, who is he talking about? Damn, what are we talking about?
That's, I mean, you're just completely out of touch if you think that either of us are crazy. We're not saying everything
Oh.
that you would like us to say, but we're like
Oh,
obviously
probably
moderate,
Tally and
normal people.
dude.
And again, maybe you don't like what we have to say, but then you are out of touch with the majority of the country.
That's fine. And the majority of the country is fucking crazy. If it's okay to support somebody
Well,
who
then I
uses
guess
the military.
Then by your logic, then we need civil war. If people like Gen Z attorney and I are crazy, then yes, we do need civil war. Then
What's that one?
You should be coming to get people like us because apparently the majority of the country is a threat to you.
What's the
If
major? What's
we
the
are
what's the
crazy
one
people
quote
who are
for
encouraging violence,
the only
then
thing
we're
necessary
fucked.
for evil to
We're really
succeed is for people whatever to
For
stay
people to do
neutral.
nothing.
Yeah, true. Base.
Well, I'll be honest.
So here's the thing. So, I'm not sure that this applies to you, Tally, but I think this probably applies to you, Gen Z. If Gavin Newsom came out and he actually said, "No, this is war now. It's time to go and shoot up Republicans. I'm forming Gavin's garrison to enact justice upon the right," I think you'd be freaking out, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that it is going the other way right now.
You remember when Trump signed that executive order like a week ago saying that police can join up his private new fucking, the state park guard or whatever the fuck he formed in D.C.? I know nobody here knows about that because nobody gives a fuck when Trump does unhinged shit, but Jesus, what a bizarro, wacko executive order. Holy shit.
So to answer your question, Dave, but listen to the difference you just inserted in there, and I think I like to see the good in everybody. I think everyone's.
I don't think she didn't say she wants one.
Get to
She
a better
just was
solution.
being facetious because of what Destiny said.
Basically, what you just said, you phrased it as if Gavin Newsom said, "It's time for war. Let's form the militia to go shoot Republicans." I think obviously that is completely over the line. But is anyone on the right? I'm seeing a lot of these vague calls like "this means war," "enough is enough," but it's like I'm not seeing the here and now. Here's the people we need to go after. Like it's just honestly more of the same. Which I agree.
Wait, is there a single person on the left?
Well, he probably don't know, but there's literally a website, y'all, that I got access to that I found out about. There's a website that's called like Charlie Kirk's Murderers.com, where they're like finding people that said bad things about Charlie. Like they basically like made fun of his death pretty much. The people that made fun of Charlie's death, they're getting these people's pictures, Facebook pages, hometowns, jobs, and they're just listing it on a website. So miss me with that shit.
Is there a single person on the left, including Hassan and all the tankies, is there a single person on the left whose rhetoric then you would condemn under that standard? Is there anybody who's done a specific call to violence on anybody?
Right.
Right.
You don't even believe in this standard, right? Yeah, you don't even you're giving standards that you don't even believe in. It's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking. Well, we're conflating two different things again. That's why I stopped to think about it. If it was actually the same question, but no, if we're talking about once again,
She's
splitting
not
up.
playing. I mean, Destiny was being sarcastic, so she was being sarcastic back.
Off between. It's just like this whole doxing debate we just had. The difference between constitutionally protected First Amendment activity and actual incitement to violence. These are two completely different things. And so, of course, no one's going to be out there explicitly inciting violence because, of course, they're not. Because you're going to.
How do you feel about Donald Trump trying to make flag burning like an aggravated part of a criminal charge?
Yeah, I think I disagree with that. I think flag burning is it's expressive conduct that should be protected under the First Amendment. Obviously, huge disagree with doing it, but as far as whether or not it's protected under the First Amendment, I think it should be. So
how do you feel about them making decisions about deporting people based on whether they support Israel or Palestine?
Let's stop right there then, because look what just happened there. Okay, you asked the point, I bit the bullet, and now it's immediate pivot to the next point. Can we just stop and actually acknowledge that when there are points where we can actually maybe agree on something, and then build this bridge back that we're trying to build? It's completely dismissed, and now it's immediately on to the next point. Like, why would I concede any point in that paradigm?
You're not really conceding anything. These are minor things you don't agree on, and none of it would change your vote. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is who you vote for. And so far,
so if none of it matters, why are you asking me? I guess
because it's funny to see how hypocritical you guys will go.
Yeah, that's the point.
Well, hey, we can up our $20 bet. We can make it $1,000 on there not being a Trump 2028. But
Wick, I have to say, I was totally wrong. I found the wrong thing. I thought that he was doxing the addresses of these transgender students. That's not what happened. He was threatening undocumented students to dox them so that ICE would take them away and deport them, which is in and of itself just the violent action. So it's completely worse than I thought it was. And I totally think that you can prevent this person from coming to campus. By the way, not just posting about it online, he's specifically going to come to the campus, project their names and faces onto the walls and say, hey, everyone in this fucking room, go find this guy and call ICE on them. Sorry, I thought it was way not that bad. It's way worse than I thought. So yeah, I'll DM that to you so you can read it.
Okay.
But even then, I mean, I think that's still gross, but it's still failing under
The
any sort of.
university shouldn't. Well, the university should not allow for harassment of their students on their
Well,
campus. Like that's
Okay.
completely reasonable. That is
Yeah,
that is
and that could
targeted
violate it.
harassment of students.
Don't say
that could
okay to
violate
that.
a
She's
camp-
only saying that because of the Jew thing and the Israel thing. 100%.
What are you talking about? I'm
It could
saying it's
violate a
bad to
Columbia.
dox people and put up pictures of them on the auditorium and put their name and address out there. What does that have to do with Israel? What
Well,
are
do
you
you think you
talking
should be
about?
able to use violence to stop them from doing it if the university fails to protect you?
You
Right,
can use
if the
violence to
university don't
stop
do
a
their part.
legal process from unfolding. The enforcement of immigration, which
I'm not asking
can,
you. I don't give a shit what
you
you
can.
think,
You
dude.
can
I'm
go.
asking
Okay,
Paul.
well, you're asking a legal question, and now you don't want me to
No,
hear my
I know
answer on it
the
because
He
I know
didn't
you know.
ask about the legal ramifications of it.
Legally, undocumented people should be deported because they're undocumented. That's how it works. Yeah, but I don't agree with this
Oh,
morally. I'm
shit.
asking Tolly if you think that
What
someone's
is
going to
that?
come in and say, "Hey, I'm going to post your name and face so
Oh
that ICE
shit!
comes and rounds
Oh,
you up."
you the first member I have, bro. Noah, appreciate you. You the first person to become a member on the channel, man. Hey, shout out to Noah John Marshall, first channel member. Hey, that's what's up, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Would you think you should be able to like resist that in any way, shape, or form? Not saying murder. I'm not saying do any
W's
crazy
for
violent
Noah.
protest. Just hey, I'm
Stab
going
him through
to
the hand.
physically resist you even.
Well, you're gonna
Hey,
have to be more
look,
specific.
exchange rate. It doesn't matter, bro. Like you felt inclined enough to become a member, no matter what the exchange rate it is. Damn. PTJ, thank you so much for the channel membership. Got two. Look at he got declined. Hey man, hey. Hey man, hey. That's love, man. That I know. Look, that means a lot, man. I truly can't tell you how much I appreciate it. My first two members in the same stream. Appreciate y'all, man. Will, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I had it up and I didn't know how to announce it because, you know, I was like, how can I, you know, facilitate that extra content? But y'all made me. I'm gonna have to, y'all did it. I'm gonna have to do it for y'all, just for y'all, man. Y'all gonna, I do plan for my member, since y'all did it, I'm gonna tell y'all now. So my membership, I was going in the direction of having more of my hot takes, like my more like, everybody on YouTube can't handle this type of conversation takes. I'll probably incorporate more content with my family on there, more personal stuff, personal life things, like, you know, maybe more vlog type stuff for the members. So I appreciate y'all for joining, man.
Specific, because you're saying not
Okay.
any violence. but I'm
Milo,
gonna
you
throw
know,
it
he
in.
doesn't
Y'all see the member notification not even as fun as my tips and super chats, because I didn't expect nobody to become members, but y'all did it, man. Thank you.
But no,
What does that
stop.
mean?
I'm going to come into your campus
what-
as soon
what
as
do
I
you
get into the room with projector. I'm going to put Jose Gonzalez's face on the fucking wall. Sorry, I just doxed him, by the way. Now he's going to get rounded up by ICE, Jose Gonzalez. And I'm going to put his name on the fucking wall, go find this student and get him deported, which I would call a violent action, even if it's legal because he's undocumented. And they say, you know what? No, because the university's not going to protect us. We are going to form a human fucking shield and not allow him to get into the projector room. Would you be okay with that?
Sure, standing in a human shield to prevent someone who has already explicitly claimed that they are going to go in and dox private information of students. Yes, students should exactly. In fact, that's actually what I was going to say. So, for example, if at a university near me, they already announced they were planning to go in and dox my information so that people would harass me. No, I would not try to attack the person who was doing that violently. I would hope that my community would come
Okay.
around and stand up against that. So yes,
Sure, okay,
all standing
okay.
together
So
with
I
your
agree with
arms
this, and just
intertwined
because-
to prevent this
right.
person from speaking. And by the way, I don't think that should happen for
Try to
someone like
talk.
Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro or whatever visiting these universities, but someone who is explicitly calling and saying, "I am literally going to dox students at this university so that they will get in trouble or be deported or something." Yes, if people want to get together and band arms, sure, that's
Sure,
totally
okay.
reasonable.
And I'm just
That
being,
is not
just to be
violence.
clear, just to be first of all, just to be clear, when you are asking what do college kids think and whether or not this is a bad thing, I think any of them thinking that would be totally fine. And I would go further as to say, if that's not going to work and they're going to break that up using campus police, I would support something so far as I think someone should, do something to Milo Yiannopoulos' hand before he can turn the projector on. And I
Jesus
don't think that's a crazy fucking
Christ.
opinion to say.
Hold
So if I go
think
squat
that's
in my
pretty crazy, actually.
yeah,
That's
if I go
That's
squat,
fucked up. I kind of get where he coming from, but
if I'm squatting in my neighbor's house and the police come to kick me out, I can just stab the cop in the hand.
Yeah, that's
guess.
exactly analogous to what I was saying.
Yeah, completely. It's a
that was stupid. That was
process
just
that
was
is being
ridiculous.
enforced. You may not like the method of enforcement. I don't like it very much,
Yeah,
but it
someone
still
coming
is
in and kicking
it's a
you
legal
out of
process.
your own house versus a student going to university through the university's
No,
policies
somebody
and
else's
attending
house.
school. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's your house, right? Like you
your
are not going to your
house.
house. Someone else is in your house. Like this is like I'm stealing your fucking property versus someone attending university totally normal and existing in America as an undocumented person, not in a way that is like stealing.
Hold
someone's
on. Do you
fucking-
think if ICE is coming to deport someone from college, that the college campus should physically resist those people, the ICE agents?
the college police?
Yeah.
Depends on what their policy is.
I was
but,
gonna say it depends on their policy.
I would hope
No.
that they would.
The answer is yes.
It would depend on the policy, right?
The answer is
They
yes.
should not. I don't
That
think
he's
so.
They should
his-
not.
his-
I don't.
No.
I in the same way I think that certain sanctuary cities not complying with ICE is good. I think that colleges.
We're
having
not talking
single
about
policies
not
would be good.
complying with ICE. We're talking about physically resisting
Actively resisting, yes.
and actively resisting a government agent from performing their duty.
Fighting
I
the
think
ICE
the crackdown
agents.
from the
Yeah, the
president would be very
feds.
different
Should they
than the
post up against the
president's, I guess.
feds? Make them answer.
Damn, we ain't gonna get
Yeah,
to
I
it.
get
think
it.
no.
Get
I
a Twitter
think,
clip.
no, I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say
I'm
this
trying to watch
legitimately,
all
not
this
me
shit.
because I don't want to
man,
offend folks.
I
think
want to
it's the-
see. I'm finna see how this Hunter interview is how it's framed. It's 40-some minutes though, so I'm not gonna. We gonna wrap up shortly, y'all. But I did want to look at. I'll probably just do it separate. Hunter's interview as the last person to debate Charlie. This is fucking crazy. So for those that don't know, Hunter, I actually was talking to him on stream about the very topic that he was talking to Charlie about. Like 2 weeks ago, I had Hunter on stream and we was talking about the whole trans mass shooter thing where they was trying to demonize trans people as mass shooters, knowing that's not the case. And I was talking to him about the numbers and stuff. He's a math guy. And he was literally the person talking to Charlie when he got shot. You know, like he was the last person to talk to him. He was the one he was having a conversation with when he got shot. And he's also a part of Unfuck America. And they interviewed him, I guess, recently.
So my name is Hunter. I was in the middle of debating Charlie Kirk in the middle of the assassination at Utah Valley University.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
What brought you to the event that day? I make videos on Charlie Kirk, and I made this video about the statistical analysis on
Yeah, we was literally talking about that video he made.
trans shooters. And sort of the point that I was trying to make was that it's sort of a statistical outlier, that they're extremely underrepresented when it comes to how peaceful they are. Obviously,
It's
that
super
question,
crazy. It's
pretty
super
ironic
crazy,
given
bro.
when it was given.
Like Hunter made a video like, yeah, he's gonna be there was a list of the schools that Charlie was going to. He's like, yeah, one of these schools is mine, and I'm gonna go debate him about this topic. And when he did, like, that's what the fuck happens. Like, whoo.
Yeah, so I mostly came in there because Charlie's very open about having.
Mind you, when I got the news that happened to Charlie, I was like, wait, because he's a part of Unfuck America. So when I told him, I was like, yo, I just heard that Charlie got shot at UVU. And then I was like, wait a minute. Hunter just said he was here. Like, he sent us a picture, like, that he was there. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he was there. Like, is this real? And, you know, he came in later. It was like, God
sort of dialogue or some sort of conversation that, you know, he believes in engaging. And I'm pretty on the record of how much I disagree with him, but I do definitely respect how much he's willing to.
Here we go. The respect where you can respect people you don't really care for.
Platform voices to ensure that,
Yeah,
you know,
it was.
at least
Like, I can't, like,
some semblance of a
that
good
shit probably
conversation.
is so fucking surreal, especially because of how graphic it was. Like, I can't even shit. Like, imagine you think you're just talking to somebody and that shit happens in front of you, bro. God damn.
Come out of it.
And as far as these like statistical anomaly thing when it comes to trans shooters, is that in response to the way that him and Turning Point were framing that as like a big issue?
So it was about 3 weeks ago. There was a trans shooter at a Catholic church. Charlie made a bunch of tweets basically saying, like, when are we going to start noticing that this is a trend? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting my math degree at UVU. That was my university, and I was like, there's an answer to that. There's, we can determine if there's some sort of outliers. We can use p-values, things like that. And I was like, according to the data, it really doesn't pan out that there is a trend here at all. So I kind of made a video calling him out a little bit and saying, hey, I want to come debate you. I want to come do it. And a lot of people were kind of encouraging me. So I kind of wanted to come and have my, I guess my little audience see that.
How was the energy whenever you arrived to the event?
Very conservative, for sure. Everyone was very energetic, chanting Trump, chanting USA.
Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
There was
that's a lot of fucking people for him to galvanize. That's a lot of fucking people, bro.
a line of liberals on the rooftop who were holding like pride flags and I
Interesting.
think some like Palestine flags and things like that.
Interesting.
And there was a little bit of taunting back and forth, but not very out of hand. Most of the debaters were either like asking questions like who's better, LeBron or Jordan, or like some like theological debates about distinctions between like Mormonism and Christians.
That Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God over all. Christ is King.
But also, the event lasted, I want to say 20 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, they said it was about 20
I really didn't
minutes.
get a good finger on the pulse on what an event would really look like, because, I mean, I showed up fairly early. I was the second person to speak there. So, like, the first person was maybe 10 minutes, and I maybe got, like, less than a minute in.
I know, right? Noah, like he said, people was on the roof with their flags and shit. So that's probably why the people, I don't know if y'all saw, they showed people that was looking at somebody on the roof. They was like, oh yeah, who is that up there? And they didn't really freak out. But I'm wondering if it's simply because there were people that were liberals on the roof with flags and stuff. So they probably just like, oh, maybe he's like he's going to start another group of maybe liberals on the roof to, not be in the midst of the conservatives at the function.
So,
could you give us kind of a recap of how that conversation with Charlie went?
Sure.
Yeah, so we're good. Hey, Charlie. Hey,
They recorded the whole exchange.
So it was, I came in and I said, hey, there was a shooting that happened maybe a few weeks ago in Minneapolis.
And ever since then, about 3 weeks later, the Trump DOJ said that we should start talking about revoking gun rights for transgender Americans.
Do you think, you agree with this? Is that a fair assessment or something like that? And he said, yes. And then I said,
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many.
And I said, there's 5. And I said, do you know how many shootings there have been? I think maybe my memory's a little hazy. I haven't rewatched the videos, honestly. But it was something like this, which I knew the answer was, it was a little under 6,000. He said something like, we need to account for gang violence. And I think I was like, I was in the middle of saying, great, did you run a statistical analysis on that, right? Like essentially saying you have the burden of proof. And I think I was in the middle of saying that when he got shot.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
I went down pretty immediately, and everyone near me, everyone in the rest of my line, who I'd been talking to for the last like few hours, dropped down with me.
First of all, that dude. So I seen some people talking about this guy that was cheering, and I just saw him. What the fuck was that?
Everyone in the rest.
There was a guy, like, he looked like he was just cheering in the camera. What the fuck was that?
The rest of my line, who I'd been talking.
Him. What is he doing? Like, was he cheering for real?
Everyone in the rest of my line, who I'd been talking to.
Him. I wonder if he was just like, what's happening? Like, do you It's no way you see that and your first reaction is cheering. So I'm wondering, was maybe like he was in the middle of somebody filming him like, yeah, we're here, and then it happened and the timing is just terrible? There's no way you see that happen and then you're immediately like, yeah, like it's just, I just refuse to believe that that's what was happening. TMZ was live streaming during the news break, and when they heard that he had died, you hear cheering in the background. Nah, that's crazy.
For the last like few
Yeah,
hours.
like I don't believe. Oh, it's a baby. Look at the baby. That's crazy, bro.
Dropped down with me.
Oh my god.
I remember
a fucking baby.
I have a brother who was in a school shooting, and I was talking about the distinction between these. That like for me, it was there wasn't as much fear as I think I would expect, because I recognized immediately. Like I think I was a lot more logical than I thought I would be in that moment. Where I was like, that's an assassination. He is the target. He is the only target. I am freaked out, but I know that I'm okay. Whatever. It definitely became chaotic. My wife was in the crowd. I tried reaching her. It took me like 20, 30 minutes.
Wife was in the
just a lot of chaos as like, I sort of shifted in a weird place, and then I had to wrap back around, and I couldn't find her, and our phones weren't really working, and it was bombarded by texts, and I don't know. So it was very chaotic, and it took a while to really orient myself. But it was a strange environment because people were kind of milling around afterward. I think a lot of people had this similar idea that it's like, this is different. An assassination is very different from a mass shooting, where a mass shooting you disperse, right? Everyone's a target. But when it comes to an assassination, it's everyone just sort of was there, and I heard a number of people say like, so much for the tone
doing
left,
during
right?
this
Like,
time.
2 or 3 people said that as they walked by.
And what do you think about that assessment?
I made this video a little while ago. Actually, I've been following. Sounds crazy. I've been following Charlie Kirk for a little while. I went to Tampa, Florida for one of his events. I remember I was just basically interviewing some of his followers, and I found this girl, and she seemed so young and bright, ignorant for sure, dumb. I would probably say. I'll be honest, dumb. But I was just asking her questions, and I started bringing up, I'm like, oh, liberals would say, and then I would give my argument, right?
Someone can go get like a whole surgery done, without
I
parent
was read
approval.
what
It's
you
like, how is that
said,
even
Chris. That's some bullshit. Yeah, they lying.
happening? How are they going to the doctor's appointments without the parents there?
And then like I've seen parents on social media where they're like, oh, I haven't identified my kid yet, and it scares me because I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna grow up thinking that they don't know what they are, or like that they could transition into something else. And
But wouldn't that be transitioning with parent approval?
yeah, that's what I'm like saying, like to take away. Does that make sense?
But if they have parent approval, it sounds like you're talking about parents who give approval that they should be trans.
She was like, that's such an interesting thing. I've never thought of that, right? She gave, and I was like, I was like, cut. That's so perfect. I'm so glad I captured that like the conservative person was so clearly just kind of needed to hear the right thing and maybe got bumped in the right direction. And I posted it feeling so confident, and 90% of the comments were about how fat she was. And I really felt like what am I contributing to in this culture? And like in some ways, I'm extremely proud of the left. I'm extremely proud of the people.
Defeating is like, I was trying to show y'all how just misinformed people are, and they just talking about how weight.
People that I've met organizing and being in these conversations, and I don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. And I would also say that the right definitely has its issue with violence, right? We talk about political violence, like Gretchen Whitmer, Josh Shapiro, Paul Pelosi. I could go on and on, but like I am startled very often by how quick people are to grab onto like righteous violence.
Well, it's not just blocking them. It's like he said that's what most of the comments were. Meanwhile, he's trying to showcase how just a little bit of conversation can help people realize their ignorance and things, and all the comments just like she fat. Like that's frustrating.
And I don't know. I understand his assessment when he says so much for the tolerant left. Like that's kind of in some ways a lot of things that I've seen.
Was there something you saw in particular that you were like, man, that's too far?
Yeah, about Charlie, or I mean, yeah, I saw someone post like, proud to be a UVU alum today, and like,
yeah, Noah, it's pretty fucking insane that was the conversation he has, talking about gang violence and you get killed by a white man in a white state, like oof.
Also people in my hallways, right, who are just maybe a little bit terminally online, but like, I don't know, I for sure seen some. Why am I going to be sad? I'm glad he's in the grave. A lot of comments like that.
No, real shit though. How do we know
Yeah,
that?
Josh, that's a Hunter, and you don't know, but I literally had him on stream 2 weeks ago, talking about how he was going to talk to Charlie when he went to UVU. Like I had Hunter on stream. Because he's a part of Unfuck America as well, and he was telling me that he wanted to talk to Charlie about this faulty thinking of the trans shooter epidemic.
Charlie Kirk didn't die of a fentanyl overdose. You feel me? Like, we gotta wait on the toxicology report to come out, because, okay, we might have saw a gunshot and shit, but we also saw somebody put their knee.
Damn. This is what happens. Like, of course, this is beyond ridiculous, but this is exactly what they do with George Floyd, and he was one of them too. Like, y'all really sit here and try to put this. How do you see somebody get the life taken from them? You get snuffed out on camera, somebody's knee is on their neck, and y'all talking about overdose. This just shows the divide of people's life experiences and what they understand or try to understand, because an overdose does not look like somebody on the floor saying, I can't breathe. People that overdose fucking fall asleep and don't wake up. You don't be moving around fighting and screaming and moving, and you're not yelling during an overdose.
On somebody else's neck, and we saw other people still say that person died of fentanyl overdose.
What was some of the rhetoric you saw online that was like particularly insane to see? What kind of things were he saying?
Seeing people in comments on like big news pages that are like,
"Is this good trouble? Is that good trouble?"
Yeah, well, anyways, what's for dinner? Or,
maybe
well, this
I'm
is
wrong.
karma. Like, this was deserved. Nobody.
Maybe not.
He deserves to be shot and killed. Nobody. Doesn't matter if they're Democratic Party, Republican Party, does not matter.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves to be shot and killed in front of their family.
Yeah.
No one.
How do we get to this point where it's so divided we can't even look at the other party, you know? So it's disappointing, you know, it's shocking.
So you monitored the online discourse in the immediate aftermath of the shooting?
First few hours, I for sure.
That's enough time.
Democrats own what happened today.
Bro, I'd be so pissed if this guy shot me.
So you kind of I saw like two different narratives on the right. They were like, all right, this is the turning point for the left. Like they have officially gone haywire. I think Alex Jones and Owen Schroyer said, we are all Charlie Kirk. And then, you know, I think Libs of TikTok said, this is war. So it was like the, you know, spawn point for like a larger domestic conflict that's going to be apparently spearheaded by the left. But there was a lot of people that I saw celebrating the death, saying like, this is what he deserves for his rhetoric about Gaza.
Is he going to mention all the lawmakers that was condemning it?
And immigration, and they pointed to some of his quotes where I think one quote said, it was something like, I'm willing to accept gun violence and gun deaths as a natural byproduct of the freedoms that we have with our Second Amendment. And there was just a couple different things where people were making it seem like this was a symbolic victory for the left. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty adamant, and I don't shy away from how much I dislike the things that Charlie says.
If I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence?
I disagree with him on 1,000 different fronts. And I feel like I don't know why it's so hard to not hold that in one hand and in the other hand hold that's a human being, that's a father of 2 children, right? Like that both of those can fully coexist at the same time. And in some ways, I have a lot of respect for Charlie Kirk for being so open to debate, for being such an incredible organizer. Like I think as someone who's interested in political organization, that's something that I've always found really admirable about him. But like he's about my age. He's got a 1-year-old boy. I've got a 1-year-old boy. I've got you know, we're about the same height, and like
extremely
I
fair.
think about
extremely
how
fair.
That boy is not gonna have any memories of his dad, and that to me is like that's everything. That's
They don't understand that outside of the TikToks and Instagram reels that they see of him disagreeing with what they believe is a father of 2 kids and a son of a mother. That their kids are going to bed tonight. His kids are going to bed tonight without a father, and his wife is going to bed without a husband.
Yeah.
And that to me is just it's sickening. It's sickening to see that this is really what it's come to, and people really think that like this is what they have to do to get a point across.
Additionally, I mean, the conditions that created Charlie Kirk's views are still existent.
Yeah.
The undercurrents that led to all of the opinions you disagree with and that the left disagrees with. You know, it's you can eliminate Charlie Kirk, you know, but it doesn't take away the rhetoric that led to Charlie Kirk.
I think that's what's so irritating about this. Like, on the one hand, this is evil, this is tragic, this shouldn't have happened. On the secondary hand, if you're not even convinced by that first argument, it's also counterproductive. That doesn't even do anything. He's a conservative commentator. He doesn't even have like Trump has been given every opportunity right now to crack down on the violent left.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today.
And that, like, my whole point about making a video about how nonviolent we are only can exist if we stay nonviolent. It just doesn't solve anything either. Like, I don't understand how you walk away from that. Like, what did you solve at all? Everyone is now more angry and justified in their anger, or at least more so than before. And I just, I don't know. I get so angry at these wannabe activists, these assholes, these disturbing, evil. I don't know.
I think that one of the key words is antisocial.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, you know, I grew up around a bunch of violence, but I've seen shootings before.
Yeah.
I grew up, I've lost people to gun violence, whether it be in the street or from police, a few people in high school and past that. So to me, it's something horrible. universally should be recognized as a bad thing. But there's this weird kind of antisocial undercurrent that I think is running through like early Gen Z, like 18 to 22. I'm not sure if it was because they were socialized during COVID and they missed like a bunch of formative years, but the things that they're tweeting about the situation and just their dissociation to like the horrific violent imagery, to be able to watch something like that and be like, hell yeah, that's dope. That indicates some kind of antisocial, psychotic, sociopathic disorder to me.
Sure. And like whatever, when your belief basically ostracizes anyone who disagrees with you and you have no one left standing, it makes sense that you don't have a lot of connection, so maybe you lose that human value. I don't know if that makes sense.
Say it one more time.
Like, I think it's become very common now to cut off your parents or cut off your siblings if they say maybe the wrong thing or sort of.
I mean, that was in a no gun area, bro. Like nobody can have a gun there. Plus, what you shooting at? Somebody gets sniped. You don't know where you're shooting at.
And you cut these people off, and then you go, you're left standing. You're an island. It makes sense that you're like, well, what is a father really?
And you guys are all like 18 to 22 range, right? Yeah. Is he a pretty popular figure among your guys' demographic?
Yeah, I mean, if you go on, especially TikTok, he's everywhere. So, even though it's someone I've never met, it's someone who I feel like I've been almost consuming his content for a long time, and so it's a familiar face that we're losing, and he's someone that shares a lot of the same values that we share, religiously and politically in a lot of ways, and so.
That's the thing. They don't consider these type of situations. They just think like if somebody tries to rob them in the street, which is not getting sniped is not likely, but you getting robbed in the street, especially by gunpoint, isn't likely equal either.
He was very devoted, and you have to appreciate devotion because he was trying to build a better society for his family, his young family. And at the end of the day, people
said, "Well, F you," because he said he has his beliefs. Is that why you say that, Noah?
Have their opinions, and people do. There's extremists on both sides, but this is really an opportunity for everyone to kind of mend and realize what happened and mourn before we go on and take a moment to realize what has happened and what we can do to prevent like just certain things like this in the future. I mean,
it does sometimes feel like I am one of the few, definitely not the only, but certainly maybe a minority of the left that really cares still about life or family or America. I don't know.
No, it's a good point you made. Like these political divisions have infected people's family dynamics, and it's become more important than those bonds. So you hear it all the time, especially if you're in like a hipster neighborhood. You hear someone be like, "Oh, my dad voted for Trump. He's such a piece of shit. I can't wait to chew him out at Thanksgiving," if they're even going. Whereas, it's not saying you shouldn't have a political discussion with your
like I'm honestly
uncle.
all for chewing out your dad if you disagree. Like I don't know.
Chew out your dad, but don't abandon your dad.
Yeah.
Especially if your dad's in like a Facebook QAnon hole. Try to figure out how he got there.
For sure.
And maybe if you can give him enough love where you can pull him out.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I do maybe genuinely feel, and like whatever, conversation isn't everything, right? There's a lot more that comes to politics than just conversation. But like Charlie was certainly onto something there that like conversation does fuel quite a bit of.
It's like part of me is like they're young, so they're super impressionable and don't know what they're subscribing to. But it is kind of like, damn, like bro is literally spewing hate towards people. Like he's not just, he just is, I don't know. To me, it's weird to just be like telling people that gays shouldn't be gay and they mentally ill and trans people shouldn't exist and Bunny was good and black people not smart and he questions black pilots. That shit is just not conducive to a healthy society. And for you to fall victim to thinking shit like that is like, these are my beliefs. Like, why?
Feel something that I think we've, I don't know, maybe it's
crazy. And then it's like they're so impressionable too. They don't even know how he misrepresents statistics as well.
Legitimate turning point for discourse in America, or do you think this is something that's just going to be remembered more as like an individual tragedy?
I really feel like it could go either way. I feel like if we're lucky, we can just kind of memorialize it and move on and be better from it. But I definitely have a pretty sick feeling that there's a lot of
wow, that's crazy. No, it probably depends on where you live too. So
bad repercussions that are going to happen.
They in Utah. Like shit, I'm not surprised, but
yeah, I think on both sides too.
It's
If you make
fucked
a murder of somebody, I mean, people will do a lot to avenge them.
Exactly. Especially the entire Republican side is
that's a good ass.
Of course, not happy, and nobody should be happy. And the people that are have something.
We're watching, I don't know if you was there, Bunny, when I interviewed Hunter 2 weeks ago about Charlie Kirk's faulty misrepresentation of trans shooters. He was the last person to talk to Charlie Kirk before he got shot, and they're interviewing him.
They fought with them. Yeah. Really.
Do you know Charlie Kirk? Yeah, I do. And what do you think of what happened to him? You know, sometimes revenge is the dish best served cold. I hate to... He died in a world that he wanted.
Motherfucking animals! You liberal, progressive, deranged fucking animals.
Now, see, the people that celebrating, they're just as weird as this motherfucker right here. Like, you're in your phone screaming and raging yourself over probably somebody you don't know. I can bet money she don't know. And I feel like the filters is going crazy because her hair doesn't even look the slightest bitch attached to her head.
You are so hateful in your hearts.
Worst things have happened to people. And, you know, if you turn a blind eye, you want it to erase the Confederacy, you want it to erase all these different things, but why should I have more sympathy with something that you clearly, you don't know pain, really? This is the worst thing you can think of. You don't understand what other people have gone through.
You think this could be a powder keg moment that starts like an internal major civil dispute between right and left?
Right, you're not celebrating.
Probably nothing more than what we've seen since 2020.
Same shit.
Yeah, same shit, different story. I mean, I don't think anything like, you know, we had the George Floyd, we had the January 6th. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be anything more than that yet.
Yeah, I've seen the HBCU shutdowns, Bunny.
The only time we're going to have real civil disputes is
when if they have anything to do with this shit.
We're starving. Yeah. You know, when we lose access to clean water, when we lose access to electricity, you know, that's when things change. But right now, we're comfortable, right? Yeah. And that's,
jokes aren't celebrated.
Ultimately, this is going to make people upset. You know, sure, it is going to create more tension between the left and the right. However, it's unfortunate that we even see in this two-party democratic system anyways.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point about basic necessities being met. Like, people can talk a tough game about civil war, but until people are like can't go to 7-Eleven, they're not really going to kill anybody.
Yeah, no, it's just not going to happen because like it basically has to get to the point where you have more to lose by not doing anything than doing something, right? That's all. That's what's going to take, you know.
Do you think that events like this will make people more scared to interact with their political opposition in a public forum?
Sure. I mean, obviously, for sure. I was at the there was a protest well, there were two protests, one in Provo, one in Salt Lake.
You at a HBCU,
it was
Bunny?
the No Kings protest. And I went, and my mom was so scared. She's like, do not go. Why are you doing this? And I was like, I have people that I care about who are, you know, undocumented. Like, this matters to me. And then there was a shooter at Salt Lake, and someone got killed.
In the middle of a No Kings protest that brought thousands of demonstrators downtown, sudden gunfire stunned everyone.
He fired several shots. The crowd dispersed. I got to cover.
And it's like, how can I really blame my mom? You know, like I can't be frustrated at that inclination to be terrified to go outside.
Damn.
To have some sort of discourse. Like sometimes I think about it. I'm like, I know someone who's right near the person who got shot at Salt Lake.
Luckily, they found the shooter now, so hopefully all that type of shit ceases.
Like, I was right near Charlie Kirk, and my high school alma mater, the one that my brother went to, got shot while he was there. Like, it is crazy how many events I'm a part of, and I don't think I'm necessarily an anomaly for that. And that's sort of the point of the video that I was trying to make, was that when you have 6,000 data points of mass shootings that happen in America, you could pick anything that you want out of that. Like, that's an overwhelming.
That's the point. Like, that's the point Hunter was trying to make. He was telling me, like, you can find a common thread between a bunch of events easily if you want. You could be like, look, there was over 50 people wearing a black shirt at all these events. Like, it's like you can, if you want to, if you just count all of the mass shootings or school shootings, and then you'd be like, oh, there's 6 trans people, look at the trend. Well, are you ignoring all the white people that did it? Are you ignoring all the fact that they're all males? Like, what do you want to look at? What do you want to look at, period?
Amount of constant shootings that occur over and over and over and over again. And it's horrific that I was trying to point that out, and Charlie died.
Did the gravity of that situation immediately sink in for you? That you were the last person to talk to him?
Took a while, for sure. I was driving away.
That video is crazy, but
my wife and her sister and her mom were on campus, and they found us, and they drove away, and she turned to me and she said, you know, you're gonna be on every news station in America tomorrow. And I was like I don't know if I realized it until right then that I was like, no, that was me. That was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I'm like, dude, I read too many comments on some video about me that was like, dude, this guy's in on it. He was asking about shootings right when the shooting happened. Like, let's go get this guy.
I mean, every mass shooting or assassination is like a powder keg for conspiracy theories, because everyone's paying attention. It's got all the elements that, you know, there's an old Joseph Pulitzer quote that's, if it bleeds, it leads. You know, and so everyone wants their own conspiracy. I've seen people blame every single type of person in the world for what happened.
Totally.
All right, let me tell you why I don't think it was a crazy leftist. Because there was hundreds of people there who had the same exact political views as Charlie Kirk, but they only killed one person. They only killed Charlie. If there was other people, like, well, you see with like a lot of deranged, like these transgender shooters who've been going around, they kill as many people as physically possible. This guy, whoever he was, had to leverage the vantage point to take out as many people as he could have. But no, he just took one person. It was a one and done, and that was it. And that's why I don't believe it was someone who was a radical, like just a leftist radical.
I don't get the connection, but I don't think it was a crazy radical. But we don't know enough now. But I don't get the connection he's trying to make.
Acting upon his own. I think this is a professional job.
Yeah.
There is a tweet out there. I'm not sure who tweeted it. I could fact check it real quick. Who's talking about the Israeli government killing Charlie Kirk because he was having some second thoughts or something like that. I think that is a possibility.
Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier. He was not a hedge fund manager. Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet.
Along with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson changing their views on Israel. However, Charlie Kirk received quite a bit of money from AIPAC to support Israel interests in the United States.
I've been to Israel twice. I love Israel. I love Israel, the place. I love Israel as it protects access to biblical archaeology.
So hopefully, and it's not a good thing he's dead. I'm not going to say that, but hopefully he died because he came to his senses and did the right thing and put America's interest above Israel's, not the other way around.
What was the security situation on the ground there?
Here's the thing. There was huge pros and cons. Huge pro, a lot of security guards, a lot that were directing me in specific places. But the con is it was fully open, like anyone could wander in. And also there's rooftop access at UVU, which is like a, I don't know. I think that the shooter is suspected to be a sniper on one of the roofs. For some reason, this makes people think that I'm in on it, that I was a Mike or I was a, I don't even know what a mic is. I learned that term two hours ago. I don't know. I think it's like
is it like some sort of
I don't know. I kept
slur
saying
for liberal?
No. It was like I was shouting a call, and I said,
oh, like you had a code word?
Yeah, like I had a code word, and because I was talking about shooting, so they're like, that's
Like,
got to be
time to
it.
go.
And I also said I said great right after responding to him, and I think I don't even know why I said great. I think I was just like,
It's a high pressure situation.
yeah.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Well, I was like, maybe it was just like, let me think about this.
It's like being on stage during a talent show when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like, think you're gonna kill it, but you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah.
up
And it's like I try to be prepared for sure, but it's like a stalling technique maybe.
And then
like,
also,
I mean, I knew what I was going to say
being
next.
in Hunter's position, like, what if the shooter missed? Like, I don't know if he was in his line of sight or not, but it's just like that part too. It's like I'm technically in front of Charlie. I don't know what the shooter's line of sight was, but what if he missed? Like, it's just so much, like, fuck.
Whatever.
How do you think we can prevent things like this in the future?
Well, first of all, I'd say that a very respected leader in our community said that conflict is inevitable, but contention is a choice. And we're helping ourselves when we choose to not be offended. So respectful and civil dialogue in social, civic, and religious circles is not just going to help us from the outside in, but from the inside out.
What do you think could have been done to prevent this situation?
I don't know. Because I'm always so worried. I'm such a math nerd sometimes that I'm like, well, this was still a statistical outlier. Like, and maybe it was. Maybe I think everyone always has these answers, but it's also like we have the least amount of violence than we have ever had in the history of Earth right now. We are probably doing something right. 300 years ago, every country was at war constantly until like World War II, where we're like, let's freeze this. We got to just chill the fuck out and like whatever. It's not perfect by any means. There's absolutely more work we can be doing. But like everyone who has all these answers, I mean, Charlie's answer was like, let's.
No, they don't know. I think he's not talking much, so they only using evidence, physical evidence they got. I don't think he's been talking much, so we don't know everything yet.
Bring back up mental asylums. I'm like, I don't know if that worked in the 1800s. Like, I think you're scrambling just as much as we are. Like, I'm not trying to pretend like I have these answers on how to fix all this. Maybe it is that there are insane people. There was the, I'm sure you know about the stabbing of, that Charlie was talking about a lot. That was his last tweet. It was the stabbing of someone on the
it was on the light rail in Charlotte.
Yeah. And they're like, dude, they should have locked him up. And you look at his priors, he's like, okay, well, he was in jail for like 7 years. Should we have just like thrown away the key? Like, some of these priors are like, he stole something. Should we just lock him up then? How do we
like
prepare?
Everybody keeps saying he should have been in jail. Like, a lot of shit he was in trouble for wasn't like hard time crimes, you know?
Like, I don't know if the answer is we should just be okay with knowing that there are completely antisocial people who walk amongst us and might lash out at any moment. But I don't know what we should be doing about that, and I haven't seen a compelling answer.
I mean, one thing that I've heard is like more readily available psychiatric services,
gun
reform,
mass
buybacks.
Yeah. I'm in favor of all of those things, but I also know in my ideal world where I have all of the policies, I'm sure that a stabbing could happen. Like, maybe that's just the world that we have to live in, but also that seems like an extremely that doesn't sound like the right answer either.
Right.
So I don't know.
You can't stop crazy.
I think I get frustrated with the sin of certainty.
As in, like, I have the solution. If we do this, things like this won't happen again.
I watched it like in a movie recently. I just really like that term, the sin of certainty.
Yeah, he needed a mental institution, but we've been getting rid of them. They got rid of a lot of mental institutions.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was Conclave. It was
I mean, it's not an excuse because it's not like there's none that exist any longer, but maybe it's not as accessible. And I don't know why it seems like the only time I've been hearing about people getting put in mental institutions is when they already have done some type of harm, and then they find out they're not competent enough to stand trial. Then they get put in a mental institution after somebody's already lost their life. And I don't think that should be the process.
Good movie.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. And like, whatever. I respect a lot of Charlie.
But then it's also the fact that like he could be on meds, and then once you're an adult and nobody's ensuring that you're taking it, what do you do then when somebody needs meds and they're a grown adult and then they just don't take them? What do you do?
So sad. He was a very certain person, and I disagree with that. I think that we can move forward a little bit more uncertain.
I think we should have less gun laws, not more. I know people disagree with this. I even think that we should bring back, public executions on certain people. No, but think about it. I think that, and you guys should laugh. It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised. By the way, you could fund the government. To watch it. You could have brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
See, this. It's just it's endless with the shit that he believed and said. Golly, and then for him to go out like that too, that was damn near public execution. Bro.
I definitely saw a lot of his enemies, his political opponents, instantly spun it into an issue of gun reform, which I think in theory sounds cool. But I mean, we have 380 million Americans. I think we have more than 400 million guns already in civilian hands. So this whole idea of even reforming that, guns are here to stay. And there's counties and states that are always going to have guns available at gun shows and at pawn shops and gas stations and Walmarts and flea markets. And that's just the truth. And you can't walk back something that's so deeply embedded into our culture.
Right.
So that's a very sin of certainty thing where it's like, oh, there's a big shooting, gun reform, let's advocate for it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
The guns are already here.
Right.
You can
And it's as much as I love to talk about mandatory buybacks, I think that sounds really good and it works for a lot of countries. But also, it's like, dude, have you met some of these Americans? You are asking for a Waco, Texas in every county in America.
Totally.
See, with our ARs, we're citizens. Without them, we'll be slaves. They're not assault weapons.
Yeah, it's a weird, to me, the obsession with guns is weird. I'm not that attached to guns. I got them, but it's just I'm not that attached. It's not, but again, it would have to be across the board. It would have to be fucking everybody for me to be comfortable with giving up a gun. Everybody got to do that shit, period, point blank, including the police. And, yeah.
Weapons. It's necessary to protect my family from tyrannical government.
Why do you think there are so many mass shootings?
Because that's what's on the agenda for the left.
I don't know. Not like I have a better answer, right? I do think that having more guns than Americans in America is probably we're going to be a little bit more prone to gun violence and mass shootings, and that's terrifying. But also, I don't know what the answer is. And I think that people just have these easy answers without thinking of the larger implication. For example, someone said recently, I was talking to this guy, this really good friend of mine. I don't want to shit talk him too hard, but he was like, yeah, the answer is pretty simple. Just don't give guns to mentally unwell people. And I'm like, okay, gotcha. If someone has a gun, then they're not going to seek psychiatric help, because the moment they get diagnosed with anything, they'll take away their guns. So you are discouraging people from seeking help. And he was like, well, that's not what I meant. I'm like, I know that's not what you meant, right? I get that. But also, these things are hard.
You got to think about that shit.
I don't know what the answer is very often.
There's a big problem too where everybody wants to be right, especially when you have reactionaries and commentators and ideologues with their own social media platforms, and so they're rushing to have the hottest take.
Sure.
And I saw it in a little micro way, whenever I dropped the Hunter Biden interview, it was just conservative media, including Charlie Kirk and the president of El Salvador and Bill O'Reilly and all these people that seemed larger than life to me at the time, were moving in lockstep. One person sets the narrative, he's using the F word a bunch and he's talking about crack, and they all follow that thing.
That's a fact.
That's what happens.
That's a fact. But the people that claim they about their life, they agree with what's happening, right? They agree with it. They only want to do something when it's something they don't agree with. That's the problem.
So fast with Charlie, and it just felt so selfish to me as a news consumer.
Even though it goes wholeheartedly against what this country stands for.
Why is everyone rushing to announce this as fast as possible and figure out how to make this situation serve their agenda? I took a great course in college called the Sociology of Disaster, and a similar thing happens during natural disasters. Katrina, Hurricane Helene. When something bad happens, different political agendas latch on to certain details of it, and they use it to run their own little.
Hey, TJ, that's fair. Microchip the gun. That's fair. But the fact that there's so many fucking guns out here, but it is fair to microchip guns. I don't think anybody should have a problem with that. I don't think anybody should have a problem with microchipping a gun, because what you trying to do? Why would you have a problem with it,
And I feel like you'll kind of be able to cut through that for people, because you're just
you're right, buddy. You're right.
So, are you doing okay?
I don't know. I remember thinking walking away from that, dude, that's a memory that I'm never going to forget. That happened 10 seconds ago. I remember thinking that walking away. I'm like, that's a thing that I cannot forget. And it's a very weirdly prescient thing to be thinking about as I'm trying to find my wife in the crowd of people. But I was thinking that. And it was hard. I was definitely trying to I was keeping it in, and we got a call from the hospital that we had to go see my daughter 2 seconds after we were sitting in traffic as everyone was piled in. It's like, oh, now we got to go to the hospital. And I get there and I misread the charts and I think that she's doing a lot more poorly than she is. And I'm like, I like break down in the hospital. I'm like, that is, I don't think that I can handle today. Like I feel like an emotionally
that's
put together person, but like
that's crazy as fuck. I can't even fathom.
I don't think that this is a thing that anyone could do. And then the nurse is like, no, that's not what that is. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's fine. I'm okay. But like I definitely feel the preciousness of life today. Just like one person with a bad idea and your existence is out. And that's a lot to feel, and I felt it particularly strongly today.
Do you think a lot of things that Charlie has said would have created the desire for someone to want to kill him?
Ooh, that's a fucking, you asking him that question, boy. Most people can't answer that, honestly, especially publicly. And what I said to I said to somebody in some comments, I said, I'm not shocked that it's happened. It should not have happened, but I can't sit here and be like, oh my God, what the fuck? When you combine how fucking extreme his rhetoric was, and people out here are not mentally stable, and the ease of access to firearms is just a recipe for disaster, bro. It shouldn't have happened by any means. But under no circumstance should that shit happen. But people are not well. Guns are easy to get, and he was not a person that had a rhetoric that was positive.
Of course, I can understand being frustrated with Charlie Kirk. I am all the time.
Yeah.
I think that he spreads harmful. Yeah. He spread harmful rhetoric. And I don't know if I'm going to shy away from that. My record is pretty clear on that.
Yeah.
Like
Don't lie.
I do believe in the same things that he believed in a very narrow context, which is I think that having conversations is the best path forward. Genuinely, like I don't.
My problem though is Charlie wasn't trying to have honest conversations. Like people, I love Ezra Klein, but he was trying to say he did it the right way. The conversation wasn't honest. It just was not. It was not honest the way they try to, you know what I'm saying? The way they try to put it is just, it's not honest conversation. That's what it is.
I don't know why we gave up on this idea. Like I think people notice that debates, they're not just like going to change their mind as soon as the debate ends. I'm like, okay, but I do believe like 1,000 straws on a camel's back. Like at some point, if they hear enough conversations and things that influence them, they will get pulled in a direction. I used to be extremely conservative.
For real?
Yeah. I grew up Mormon. I grew up I didn't grow up in Utah. I grew up in California actually. Grew up in LA, but I moved here because I wanted to go to BYU. I really believed in the Mormon Church, and then I just kind of strayed away from it. But I was hardcore Romney fan.
Oh, because he's a Mormon.
Yes,
and he's chill kind of.
There's a loyal following here, and I was for sure part of that. And then I was like, let me see if there's any other ideas. And I saw this article that was like a response to Ben Shapiro's attacks on transgender people, and it was like like it detailed a lot of these thoughts. I'm like, I didn't know that. I genuinely thought they looked down and they went, oh, that's not a penis, that's a vagina, and then like had that psychosis in their head and then move forward with their lives. And like that's genuinely what I thought. I'm like, well, if that's the case, these people are psychotic, and maybe they should be in mental hospitals. And then I was like, oh, that's actually not how they interact with the world at all. They're actually pretty coherent thoughts and make a lot of sense. And I just needed to hear their perspective. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, that's confusing for me, maybe, but like way more reasonable than I thought it would be. And like, I don't know, I remember a lot of those trickle points where I started shifting more left. And I do believe that people can go on the same journey that I went on. And Charlie did too, just in the opposite direction. And I respect the hell out of him for that, for really, that was his goal.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of always thought it's good to have conversations, but for some of that college campus content, I feel like they were just pulling up
I hear
to
that.
dunk on a bunch of kids.
I'm not trying to disagree with that.
Got out of their first social justice theory class,
exactly.
So he can be like,
I 100% hear you. And like,
how much fentanyl was in George Floyd's blood when he died?
100%. And like, yes, there is for sure. I was very critical of the fact that he would just debate college kids who were freshmen and 19. Like, come on, there are better, competent things out here. I don't know if I told you this. I was actually I was booked to be on Jubilee to debate him, Charlie Kirk, in 2 weeks from today. Damn. And I want to make sure that it's clear that I disagree with him, but also, holy shit, that's a person. And I don't know, like.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think that this came across pretty clear.
Okay.
So bummer you didn't get to do Jubilee. I just did 20v1.
You were the one?
Yeah.
Oh,
It
shit.
was like me versus 20 conspiracy theorists, and I don't know if they thought it was. I don't know if it's going to
fire.
come out because I think they thought it was some kind of like misinformation watchdog. So they got
Oh shit! But see, that makes me upset because fucking people like Charlie Kirk are misinformation factories. Like, I'm sorry, like people like Charlie Kirk, Patrick Bet-David isn't as egregious. Who else they had on there? Candace Owens. It's like these are really dishonest folks, and it's like that's so funny that if he fights conspiracy theorists, I might have to watch a little bit more of his content. If they picked him to go against conspiracy theorists, that means he out here in the trenches against conspiracy theorists.
with all these like alien
And you're
conspiracy
like, I
theorists. I
guess.
was like, sounds tight. And they pulled me aside and they were like, you need to push back. I was like, why?
It's so not you.
Yeah. They're like, can you just offer some counterpoints? I'm like, bro, I want the earth to be flat. It sounds better. You know? 'Cause that means God's real. There's a firmament. You know? So I really don't think it's ever going to come out.
That's
dude.
so funny.
I was just vibing with everyone. By the end, I was
Was
like,
this
talking
pretty
to
recent?
everybody. It was like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how long their editing process is.
I was gonna say they usually take about a month, I think.
They're pissed at me by the end.
That's so funny. I had some people, yeah. I
hope they put that out.
It was about a month. Well,
Yeah.
I think I knew someone who was on Jubilee and they were saying that like they got emails about when it would come out, and if you haven't gotten that, it's probably not coming out
Oh,
soon.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, dude. Well,
We'll find out.
I think you did a great job, man. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to God and shout out to you guys, man. Thank you for the interview. Appreciate you guys for your time. Our show's called Channel 5 if you want to check it out. Yeah, have a good one, y'all. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That 22-year-old Tyler Robinson from Washington County, Utah, is now under arrest in a Utah County jail for the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Oof,
So my name's Hunter. I was debating.
Stop. Ooh, that shit heavy, bro. Good shit, Hunter. His name is Staxiums on TikTok. That's his biggest platform. I think it's Staxiums on YouTube too. Yeah, he's like a numbers guy. This is his channel. Oh, he talked to Josiah? Oh, that was 2 years ago he talked to Josiah and Econo Boy. Okay. Yeah. Staxiums on YouTube and TikTok. But yeah, man. Yeah, I got wrapped up in those debates. I had other stuff I was gonna go over, but we'll go over it. This shit been heavy with Charlie, so hopefully by next week it died down. I might try to get some off live content videos, reactions put up like usual. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, we'll work as hard, but I try to get them out when I can. But yeah, man, if y'all made it to this point of the stream, I appreciate you. Shout out to motherfucking Noah and PTJ, the first members of the channel. Noah and PTJ became my first members of this channel. The monthly subscription for Illogics. Y'all were the first two to do it in the same stream. Can't tell y'all how much I appreciate it, man, and I'm gonna make sure I make it worth y'all support for sure. TJ, Bunny, Alex, Chris, you know what I'm saying? All y'all that came through. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. Josh, you was in here. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all, man. And if you made it to this point of the stream, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.